Standing on the top now. No, nothing can move you.
Everybody's talking about all the entertainers and all the people that came up, and Malcolm X talked about entertainers, and I posted this up.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community, and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
Booker T. Washington said there's another class of colored people who make a business of keeping the troubles, the wrongs, and the hardship of the Negro race before the public instead of helping get rid of them. That's me putting that in there. Having learned that they're able to make a living out of their trouble, they have grown into the settled habit of advertising their wrongs, partly because they want sympathy, and partly because it pays. Some of these people do not want the Negro to lose his grievances because they do not want to lose their job. Some of these people don't want Negroes to lose their grievances. They know we got issues, but they're going to exacerbate. They're going to egg it on. They don't want to get rid of it. There's a segment of society, usually the boule, that use this to make them look good. Then there's a segment from the grassroots saying we got issues and we need to deal with these issues by any means necessary. Your party or nothing, there's a code on the streets and there's issues on the streets, and we gotta have to use the code to deal with these issues. Anything else is second. We got a black agenda, and we're gonna push forth this black agenda if our life depends on it. If it means the overturning of society as it is right now, whatever. If we're going to have to turn over the apple cart, if we're going to have to make some noise, if we're going to have to shake some things, in the face of death, we got to get this done. But then you got some people, all they care about is their positions, their policy. Let me say something about myself. This is where a lot of people think I support Trump. Just because I said I like some of the Trump policy. I heard an article that said, you Negroes, there's nothing in Agenda 45, which is Trump's real policy, not no 2025 crap. They just doing what you're supposed to do in politics, define a person before they define you. And if you can find something evil, dirty, and tactful and make it stick, if you can accuse this person of something and people believe you got, I don't care how much of a lie, how much of proof you don't have, do it. That's what you call defining your opponent, making them look so bad that nobody want to touch them. And it happens on both ends. People doing that with Kamala Harris right now. There's some things that people say about Kamala Harris I don't agree with. There's some things, not a fan of Kamala Harris, not a fan of Donald Trump. My main focus is the policies, and if you can actually implement those policies, because I know that these politicians are going to say things that sound good to get your vote when they know doggone well they can't do that. A fake worm on a hook to hook you into supporting them. So people tend to think that I'm a Trump supporter because I'm not blue. I used to be red. I was in Ronald Reagan. I was into the Bushes. Used to be in the military. I lived in Virginia, and that was just a thing. The fact that George Bush mentioned it was Christian, and at that time I was trying to live a more stable Christian life, and that got me. And I used to ride with Bush, and then I started seeing Bush start doing some shady things, especially when they started dealing with war, propaganda, and the development of drones. And then I left. I left the Republican Party, joined the Democratic Party, got on with Barack Obama, joined the Barack Obama campaign team, went out there and campaigned for him, and things like hit the pavement, putting the poles out in the ditches. And then the first 2 years I saw that he used his delegated power to not do anything for black people. The first thing he did was the Lilly Ledbetter Act. He did a bill that's going to help equal pay for mostly white women. It really didn't affect, it's supposed to be for all women, but black, of course, as always, we're at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to that particular law and the effects of that law. Every law have an effect, but it's a trickle-down effect. It doesn't go down to everybody equally. So after 2 years, went green. And this is how I've always been. I'm not committed to no party. I'm an independent, proud independent. And my thing is, what do you have on my 40, homie? What are you going to do for the black community? I don't want to hear this. What you going to do for all communities, and this is going to benefit black people too? No. When I looked at the plan, but lift every voice plan of Joe Biden, it pissed me off, because as I looked at the plan, I realized it went from black people to all people in the plan. That's the trick bag they do. They put a picture of black people on front of the picture, and they start about black, and then it say minority and minorities. No. Now, whether you want to like them or not, Trump had that platinum plan, whether it was worked or not, whether it was effective or not, whether it was a ruse or not. The point is, it was strictly totally focused on black people, no minority. That's it. No minority. The lift all every word said black and brown, black and minorities. Trump plan said no, just black. We're gonna do opportunities on blah 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 for blacks. Whether he did it or not, I don't know. I doubt it. He probably did, probably didn't. I don't know. I'm not over there on that side. But at least he tried. He didn't, if he's gonna trick bag, he's gonna trick bag you with the right language, not this crap. And that's how this home loan thing is. That Kamala Harris is coming. It's a trick bag, and I'm going to go over that because it's mainly a 40-year mortgage at high interest rate. It's going to be done through major companies like BlackRock and all that, and the whole point of them is for them to legally take your property instead of doing the illegal stuff they're doing right now to take property. $25,000, great idea, but guess what? They just jacked the value of the home up $25,000. It's just so much to it that I realize they can't do. They sounds good, but they're not going to be able to do it. And it's just itching ears, and I'm going to go over that one day. Let me get to this. I don't get paid for this. I had emails from Kamala Harris campaign that they're looking for influencers to boost the campaign. I can't take money. I don't even monetize these videos. I said, I'm just going to trust God. If somebody want to give, I'm going to give. I'm trusting God going to move on them to give. Thanks to my brother Laverne Gibbs for donating from the last stream. And I really appreciate that. And anybody want to donate, you can go to my PayPal, not Super Chat, PayPal. Hit my PayPal and go directly to me. It's down at the bottom over here. What is over there? Down at the bottom, right down there. Bob TV NYC. $sign Bob TV. Hit that. Don't. Try not to super chat, because YouTube is just a mess. You'll never see no money from YouTube, man. Never. And plus, I demonetize it because I just want to trust God. I'm trying to trust God on this whole platform, on how it's going to go, what direction to go. It's called the Bobby Brown Show, and it's supposed to be all things that I'm involved in. I'll talk about union issues. I'll talk about political issues. I'll talk about emotional issues. I'll talk about spiritual issues. I just talk about everything. I don't get paid for this. Now, mind you, if I was a Trumper and I was all in for Trump and I was on the Trump train, which I'm not, I would be getting paid big bucks, because those black Trumpers, they get paid big bucks, but I can't do that because I'm call Trump out too. And a lot of people say, well, why you call more of the Democrats out than the Republican? My whole duty is to get people to realize that neither one of both of these parties are racist. Some have hidden agendas, some have upfront agendas, but they're still agendas. Both sides of the aisle have white racists in it. Some you don't know, some you do know. A real smooth racist would never expose himself. He's that doctor in the hospital that smile in your face at the same time do something to you physically with a needle. And oftentimes they're not white. Oftentimes they're anti-black blacks or anti-black Indians or whatever. Don't get paid for this. I wish this was something I could do all the time, but I don't. And I don't come up here that often because I have to work. And I got a family I got to love. And I got friends I got to love. Don't get me wrong, I love you, but it is what it is. So that's my point of here. There's those who, they want the money. They want the limelight. They want the checks. They want access. They want political access. They want to be friends with people from on high. They're part of the boule. They're part of the boule. They're part of the socialite club. They're part of the fraternities, the sororities, and what they call uppity Negro class. Now, I can't say that about all of them, because I got a lot of family members that are part of sororities and things like that. And me as a Christian, sororities, not a fan. I look at sororities the same way I look at Freemasonry and things like that. So I really don't get into that, but I do have family members that I love that are in sororities. And so I don't want to crap on sororities, but some of these people in some of these sororities are boule to the T, uppity Negroes that get in the sorority for the sake of becoming part of the upper class or the uppity class. And sometimes they can look down on you Negroes who don't have a degree, that's not part of sorority, that's not part of a club, and that means just something wrong with you. So they tend to look at you, they tend to talk down to you, they tend to chastise you, they tend to tell you, they tend to act like they're your parents, and they tend to shame you and point the finger at you and things like that. And I get it. You have somebody that you like, that you want to run for office, and that you're going to push them. But this shaming others because they don't think like you, that is an authoritarian tactic. That is a Nazi tactic. We're talking about the Republicans being using Nazi philosophy on people. You need to look at the Democratic Party using Nazi philosophy, especially from this newly, not even official yet, Harris-Walz campaign. I have to watch how I say that because I say it too fast, sound like Harry Balls. It's Harry Walz. Walz. So I have to say it slow. Harris-Walz campaign. So a bunch of comedians, a bunch of entertainers, they're going on the radio all out, and you probably already know, but I'm gonna have my say so about this. A bunch of these people are going all out trying to crap on you because you are not into the Kamala Harris campaign for whatever reason. And look, folks, you vote for Kamala Harris, I have no problem if you have a valid reason to vote for her. Valid. Not because she's so-called black, which is debatable. And I've debated that. And I went through a whole essay. I went through a whole family tree to prove that. I actually found her cousins. I'm going to feature her cousins. I didn't do an interview with them, but I found a couple of cousins. And you can tell and look at them dudes that they're dark-skinned Indians on the Jamaican sides, that talk Jamaican, It's just like dark skin. I got a friend of mine, beautiful friend of mine. She's from Guyana. Ann, beautiful. We got the same birthday. That's my friend. Dark skin from Guyana. But then I got some friend of mine at work. Dark skinned Guyanian Indian. He looked like he black, but his hair too good. Hair is too coarse. So that's how you can tell the difference, no, man, I'm telling you. And even Donald Harris, Kamala Harris' dad said, look, I'm mixed with Scotch, Irish, and Indian. He never admitted to having a black person in his family. But that's beside the point. The only reason my issue about her running for office, and I mentioned the black thing, is because you're trying to run like you black. You're trying to run as a black girl, and you're trying to manipulate. In my book, you're using my people to get you votes, and I don't like that. Be the Indian. Because if you got the right policies, and those policies are believable, you could prove, or at least make it seem like you can actually implement these policies and instead of just talking about it. I can rock with you because I don't vote by parties. I vote by your agenda. I vote by your record in the past, present, and future. That's very important to me, especially that past record. And then I vote on your platform and how you can implement those platforms. And if there's more good that outweighs the bad that I see, I may consider voting for you. I may not. And vice versa on the Trump end. I don't look at all this other stuff that other people talk about. This case with the 91, that's about him paying. I mean, he had some other stuff that he did too that was wrong, and I trash him for. But this hush money thing that happened 10 years ago, he bought some coochie. I don't care about that. I mean, look, I used to be in the military. I done bought some stuff before too. So yeah, I can't judge a man. Can't judge him on that because I paid for something too. Surprise! I did. I was young and in the military. And I was in Tijuana, so yeah, boy, good old days. Anyway, I don't look at that. I look at what you've done in the past, what you're doing now, what you're doing in the future concerning my people. If you have not done anything to hurt my people, we're going to be good. If you got a plan to help my people, big or small, I might be interested. Can you provide reparations with cash payment? That's the deal breaker or the deal sealer. No matter who you are on what side, no matter how much they yell about this person on the right or this person on the left, this is my deal breaker or my deal maker. Are you going to push a black agenda? Or are you going to support reparation? And even though some people don't like it, that's your problem. It's not mine. This is where I stand and will die pushing this. Now, I will die pushing the gospel as much as I can, even though I'm not perfect. But this to me is gospel. It's black gospel for the foundational black American community. We got to have our reparations, and we got to get our black agenda pushed. And every community have an agenda, and they push it. And they'll tell people, you won't get my vote until you accept what we want to happen in our community. Every community does that but the black. Every community does that but the black community. But the foundational black American community, freedmen, American descendants of slaves, have spoken that these are the things that we want. And we're not playing, and we're not shucking and jiving, and you ain't gonna scare us, you ain't gonna fear us. We're laser focused, and we're here to let you know that if you're not pushing it, then miss me with your support. And I know it scares you, and I know it freaks you, and you're gonna say, well, what about, dude, you don't vote? Let me tell you something. That's a strategy of beating somebody. You never show your plan. You have to make people think. You have to prove to your enemy that you're capable of defeating them. You have to prove to your enemy that you're capable of paralyzing them. And you have to prove that all the way up to the day you're going to fight. And for us to come off of this and just vote for Kamala Harris or vote for Donald Trump, it's asinine. This is a mission. Our mission cannot be placated by political party. It can involve political parties. We lean on political parties to do their part to make sure this black agenda get pushed and these reparations get pushed. But at the end of the day, if we have to turn up to get it done, we have to turn it up. We have to flip your philosophy on these political parties and hurt both of them real bad, or hurt one, let the other one get a little grease pump, or vice versa. Whoever it is that's going to support this black agenda, that's who we support, at least who I'm supporting. Now back to this. I know I talked too much. So Ricky Smiley goes on a Ricky Smiley show. Fair use, Ricky Smiley, fair use, because we're going to comment and we're going to talk about some things up here. It's going to be a long night tonight.
Our page right here, Maria, good morning.
Here's what's happening in news.
Now, here's where we're going to start. Here's what happened in news. And it won't take 2 seconds before the shilling for the Harris Walz campaign. For the Harris Walz campaign. I don't know why. He gets the shilling.
Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota held their first joint campaign rally together in Philadelphia. Kamala Harris praised Walz going down his list of titles from coach to congressman and even military veteran. She ended his introduction, Ricky, saying, and in 91 days, the nation will know Coach Walz by another name, Vice President of the United States.
Now, I'm going to stop this right here, and I want to deal with some of these Republicans that's trashing Walz's military service. Now, I got two brothers that's been in the military, Laverne Gibbs and my maternal brother, Reggie. Laverne Gibbs is my brother from another mother. Both of them served in the military. My boy Alex, my dad, host of people that I know served in the military. These guys been to war, and they stayed in until their retirement. My dumb behind, I got out. Biggest mistake I made in my life. I kind of low-key liked military life. I didn't like all the time I was in the Navy. I didn't like all that time on the water, but I liked my Navy life. But and it was bothering me, and I started getting depressed and stuff like that. And I ended up being let out the military. I was looking for a way out anyway. I didn't have the guts or balls to stay. I cowered out. I couldn't handle the time at sea. I wanted to change my position. I was a cook. I went from musician to cook. I wanted to be a part of the religious clergy thing. I mean, I punked out. I didn't stay in for 8 years. My brother then went to war. They served in wars. They retired. They getting a check. Both of them living good. Thank God. God protected them while they were out there. My service is nothing compared to their service. These guys actually risked their lives. I ain't risked no life, man. Just doing drills out in the water. I was on an air carrier. And then when I'm at home, I cook. When I'm at base, all I did was cook and go home. These guys they was out on the field battling. I didn't do that. So even though my service compared to theirs was not the same, I still served. But yeah, the point is I still served. And the service part, you can't discount that, because some people didn't even have the guts to serve. See, it's not my fault that I didn't get sent to another Italy or somewhere to be the ship that's going to send airplanes to strike these targets. I wasn't lucky enough, or I guess I wasn't unlucky enough, because back then I would have counted that being unlucky. I'm like, that brother's unlucky. I'm still here in Norfolk. I'm going to the beach later on as soon as I get off of work. Living on the base life is just beautiful, man. I'm not gonna front. Living base life, living on base, and not being on a tour duty or not being overseas or not being in the water was gravy. But you can't discount my service. Of course, it's not like my brothers in Burns, but I did serve. You can't discount Tim Walt's service in the military and call it stolen valor. I don't even know, did he tell a story about him saving somebody's life in war or something like that? I don't know. Now, if he did and it's not true, yeah, it's stolen valor. But him serving in the military, serving in the National Guard, I don't care if it's National Guard, National Reserve, I don't care. He still served. And you got to respect the person who served in the military. Now, I want every military person who served their country to have access to housing. I personally would love to build a housing development to house veterans, a veterans community, just like we have a union community. I personally would like to see a veterans community where veterans don't have to pay out of their pocket. The federal government pay their rent. That's the least thing the federal government owe them, is a roof over their head and a place where they can have child, where they can eat every day, funded by the military. We're doing it with the migrant workers right now. We put them up in these 5-star hotels. We provide them meals. And when they even complain about the meal, we give them a check on top of that. We're going to talk about that a little later. We should be able to do that for every military veteran. And we should have a special place for those who are disabled. Shame us seeing disabled veterans out here on the streets, homeless, cold, dealing with the ailments that they got or the injuries they got while they were at war. Casting them to the side. Anyway, enough of that. Get off Waltz about this stolen valor crap. You know, even though I don't support his policies, he has some horrible policies. That right there, that's not cool. Respect that man's time in the military. That's not cool. Other than that, his policies suck. Policies suck. And this is one of the reasons why I'm not for the Harris Waltz campaign. Policies suck. His policy as the governor of Minnesota sucks. Oh, he did free lunch. So what? They've been having free lunch ever since I was a kid in Florida. Y'all just having free lunch in Minnesota now? Anyway, let me keep going. Sorry about that.
So are you excited about Tim Walz? I already know the answer to that question.
Always.
What excites you the most about him?
This Negro talking about always excited. You didn't know who no Tim Walz was, man. I didn't know who Tim Walz. That's how much of no name he was. I had to go do some research. Yeah, I had to do some research, Ricky. I looked him up. I looked at his record. There's places you can go to look at people's voting record, Ricky, just to let you know. I'm not going to let you know. I want you to tell me your source of investigating and research. But there's places you can go to find out people's voting record, find out people past and people present. Easy place to go. It's called opensecret.gov. But let me get off that. And that's just one source. This who talking about. Oh yeah, I like him.
Just that he's just a regular, like he remind you of your high school principal. He remind you of your high school football coach, and he was a football coach that led his team to a state championship. And
you can't tell me these guys not reading talking points. What do you like about him? Oh, he's like a good old dad, little coach. This white dude, he's like a good old dad. You act like you hung around this guy, Ricky. You act like y'all went to the game together, like y'all had lunch together. You don't know this dude, man. He's like a good old... Get out of here.
He is just awesome. He's for the people.
He's just awesome. He's for the people. This is Ricky Smiley being a tool of the left, because every organization, every political party has what they call a media wing, a propaganda wing. Every party has a media wing. Ricky Smiley is the calm media wing. In other words, we can give you some, we can hit you with the news, but then we can put you to sleep after with a bunch of jokes and laughs. And right now, he's doing his part to calm you about a person. And then after that, he's going to get some laughs. Well, he couldn't get no laughs on this one because he just, he turned into old grandma after, in this interview.
He stand up for women's rights, and he's a popular governor in the great state of Minnesota, which Trump won in 2016. That state was picked off by Joe Biden, and I think we'll definitely get his state and the state of Pennsylvania as well. Either one of those governors would have been a great choice for Kamala Harris. I'm just sick of the black people on the internet talking.
Here we go. First of all, how is that a good pick for Kamala Harris? There was no black woman. Since we supposed to be supporting black women, no black woman you could have picked. No black man you could have picked for VP. You had to pick a white guy. You had to pick a white guy from a swing state, right? And then he immediately goes into black man slamming.
Have been a great choice for Kamala Harris. I'm just sick of the black people on the internet talking about I'm not with her. Okay, so if you're not with her, that means you with Trump.
These are shaming talking points that don't work. It's not going to ever work. Matter of fact, they're ignorant. They're dumb. You got multiple people running for office. You got RFK running for office. You got, I think her name, Claudia, I'm forgetting her name. She's running in another party. You got Jill Stein. She's running in again. You got Cornel West running. Then you got Trump. So for you to say, if you're not with Kamala Harris, with Trump, that is so stupid. I'm not with neither one of you. Now what you got? Well, you got to be with for one of the Trump people are saying if you're not with Trump, you're with Kamala Harris. Can you say I'm with Kamala Harris if I'm rejecting Trump? No, you can't say that because you're not sure. You're just talking out the side of your behind, man. That's an old tool of shaming that they'll use on you to get you to feel bad. You shouldn't let it work. I'll vote for, if you're not voting for Kamala Harris, you're voting for Trump. How the hell can I vote for Trump? Physically speaking, numeral speaking, let's talk about this numbers wise. That is not true. Kamala have to earn my vote. Trump have to earn my vote. You're saying that if I don't vote for Kamala Harris, it's a vote for Trump. Trump can't get in power with a no vote for me. How can he get in power with a no vote for me? In order for you to get empowered, you got to get a vote for me. If I'm not voting for Kamala Harris, how is my no vote is going to put a one check mark in his box? It don't make sense. Because you got the Trumpeters saying, look, if you don't vote for Trump, you vote for Kamala Harris. How can my no vote for Kamala Harris, is going to go in her pile? The only way you can really say I'm voting for you is I have to literally go in there and support you and click that thing for you. If I don't click it for you, then no, I did not contribute to none of yours. I didn't vote for you. So anything that happened between one of you is on your end. It doesn't make sense numerically. It does make sense. Don't let nobody gaslight y'all with that old dumb stupid mess. If you don't vote for Kamala Harris, you're voting for Trump. How? I got to literally go in there and put in a vote for Trump for him to count it. You can't count a no vote. You can't count a vote that don't go to either one of you to use to win an election. The problem is you want to shame me into taking my vote and counting for you because my vote is my vote. See, if I go vote for a third party, you'll call it a wasted vote, but it's not wasted to me. I wanted him to get him that chance. I wanted to give Cornel West that chance that to get the numbers up. So, because I believe in the underdog. I believe in this policy. And let me tell you something about me. I'm not one of those guys. I don't play into this political, psychological games. I'm just going to laugh at you. And I'm going to ignore the hoopla and the rah-rah. My point is, what have you done in the past? What have you done? What are you doing now? What do you plan on doing in the future? That is my solid foundation right there. Then secondly, let me look at your policy. How are these policies going to help my people? Now, forget all this all people and all lives matter stuff. How is it going to help black people? And then also, we have an agenda. Are you willing to push our black agenda? And we need reparation with cash payment. Are you willing to support it and push reparation with cash payment? Now, the Green Party do have a reparation plan, not robust enough. Cornel West have a reparation policy, not robust enough, because they're taking their own reparation plan and not the one that we're giving them. They're not listening to Dr. Claude Anderson. A lot of them lean on Dr. Sandra Darity. But at the end of the day, my vote is my vote. My vote is valuable, and I got to use my vote as a commodity. And if I have to turn my vote from a commodity into a baseball bat and beat both of y'all upside the head, I will. Because I got an agenda, and if you're not willing to push my agenda, then push your behind away from me. Get away from my door before you get smacked with this bat. And the hell with you to make that asinine statement that I vote for Trump. You don't vote for Trump, you vote for Kamala Harris. That is impossible unless I go in there and physically put in a vote for Kamala Harris. I'm not voting for Kamala Harris. Well, vote for Kamala Harris. If you don't vote for Kamala Harris, you vote for Trump. That's impossible. In order for me to actually vote for Donald Trump, I have to go in the booth and hit the voting booth for Donald Trump. I'm not hitting for neither one of y'all. I might hit for Mickey Mouse. Well, that's a wasted vote. To you it is. It's not. My vote just served its mission. My mission is to punish both of you parties for not doing what you need to do for black people. And you say that I'm just sick and tired of the black people who won't support her. Have she supported us in the past? What has she done to bring economic empowerment to the black communities of California? Nothing. She's a prosecutor. She prosecuted California. She's a district attorney. She prosecuted. That's the district attorney job. Prosecution. All she did was prosecute. Willie Brown, but prosecute. And even as Attorney General, she did more prosecuting than defending, aggressively prosecuting than defending, even coming up with laws between district attorney and Attorney General, AG, coming up with laws to do more prosecution. And you want somebody who know this to vote to give her a national platform to keep doing what she's always been doing. Once a cop, you always a cop, baby. Once a prosecutor, you always a prosecutor. It becomes who you are. I was married to a cop, beautiful, young, beautiful, short, a little bit older than me, beautiful, short, cutie pie. But she was a cop all day. She didn't know how to turn that stuff off. She was copping in the house. She was copping at the church parking lot. She was investigating this, investigating that, because you don't become. It's not just a job no more. It's who you are. And I'm telling you now, and I got it in with witness, because when if this person make it to the presidency, she's gonna be a prosecuting president, and the prosecution ain't gonna be going toward the big millionaires like she claimed it's gonna do. It's gonna turn south and go on the people, because that's all you can do. But let me get back to Ricky Smiley, who said, I don't understand why they're not with her because of that. That's just one reason why I'm not supporting Kamala Harris. You could do what you want to do. I'm not trying to convince you not to support her. You have reasons to support her. I have reasons not to. And that's just the beginning. Don't get me on my spiritual side or my faith side. Oh, that's a whole nother reason right there. Tim Walz passed the measure to allow tampons to be put in the men's bathroom. He's like your dad, he's like an old grandpa. He's like a coach. And why you want tampons in the boy's bathroom? Why would a boy put tampons in the boy bathroom? See, I can't support that foolishness. My spirit turns when I hear that. And I'm not the most religious man in the world. I mess up like everything else, but boy, my spirit is very sensitive, and it turned. And when my spirit turns, I cannot move forward on that. But let's let Ricky keep talking.
Y'all need to block every last one of their asses on Facebook and on Instagram and social media and stop.
You see, y'all, who are you talking to, Ricky? You're trying to dictate to people in Radio Land what to do to people who won't support Kamala Harris. And you automatically assuming they support Trump and they're Trumpers. Well, you got to be on one team or another. No, I don't. This is America. It doesn't go that way. And even if it wasn't America, it don't go that way. Like my mama said, there's her side of the story, your side of the story, and God's side. The truth is in the middle somewhere, but God knows. You're trying to tell people, cut your friendships off, cut your family off. At the end of the day, we don't know you. You don't know us. You ain't going to be there for. I drop dead right now. You ain't coming to my funeral. You're not. But you want me to treat people and my friends and my faceless, to treat them like trash over politics. I'm not doing that. We don't see eye to eye. And you want me to think this thing is so serious that I need to be at war, or you need to be at war with that person who's not going to vote for Kamala Harris, or you need to be at war with that person who's going to vote for Kamala Harris, or you need to be at war with that person going to be vote for Trump. And we don't need to be doing that. At the end of the day, family is family. These politicians don't know you, don't like you, don't care about you. You mention their name, they're going to keep walking off. They don't know you. Kamala Harris don't know you. Trump don't know you. None of these fools know you. Now, Dr. Cornell West slightly knows me. AOC definitely knows me. They got a picture in the office of me. Whenever this Negro come to he come to my town hall, don't let him in. I ain't got time for his foolishness. Jamal Bowman know me too, but he got his behind spanked, man. The Israel lobbyists moved him out. When he started talking about that Gaza boy, they put all kind of money on him, and he represent my district over here in the Bronx. Block him, Negro.
Like that's just garbage.
Yeah.
It's just garbage.
Can
Everybody
we be
got to
united
find,
on anything?
Yeah. Can't agree on a damn bucket of chicken. One person want a hot dog.
I always
Black
complain.
Politics is not about agreeing. Politics is not about agreeing. We used to think it was like that, but it's not. We all agreed that when Barack Obama won, we ain't know nothing about foundational Black American and stuff like that. We knew he was a black, half white. He could claim black because his father was black as midnight from Kenya, and his mom was white. We always said black. We never looked at Obama as a white man. We looked at him as a black man when white people looked at him as possibly a white man and a black man. Nobody black really looked at him as a white side. I always looked at him and said, oh, he tapping into his white side. Whenever I saw him do certain things, I said, he tapping into his mama's spirit right now. That ain't his daddy's spirit. And he didn't know too much about his daddy's spirit. But we felt it was right for us for the first time to get this black man in. Why? Why did we vote for Barack Obama to be the president? Because we figured that this black man is going to have a black agenda. And he kind of talked like he did too. He talked about some stuff he was going to do for the black community. And even throughout his presidency, he was like, look her, I got your back, black people. You got mine, I got yours. Nothing. And you expect us to do that again? We can't even agree on the chicken wing. No. You know why we can't agree on the chicken wing? Because this is beyond black. It has gone beyond the color of a person's skin. It has gone beyond gender. We don't mind voting for a black person. We don't mind voting for a woman. If that gender is right, we're not voting for symbolism. We're voting for actions. We're voting for things to get done. We're voting for manifestation. We're voting for progress for the black community. We got a mandate, and we're voting for you to push our mandate. And if you're not going to push our mandate, then we're not going to push you. Well, you think the other side's going to? Don't talk about them. That's the only thing you could do. You could deflect by talking about the other side. Let's talk about you. You need to stop assuming that you got our vote. You have to earn every vote. You're going to have to work. You're going to have to knock on doors. You're going to have to make phone calls. And you're going to have to sit down and listen to us. And you're going to have to bend the knee sometimes. And if we telling you no black agenda, no reparation, no vote, you need to believe that. You need to stop saying, that's not true. That's not going to happen. They ain't going to do nothing like that, man. You better wake up. This is a new day. It's survival mode for the foundational black American in America. Now, mind you, not all of us are on the same page, but enough of us are. And then you got Roland Martin talking about a lot of these people are Trumpers. You might got a few that's probably Trumpers, but most of them not. Most of them have always been part of the Democratic Party, but they tired of the Democratic Party and the non-neglect policy. They're tired of it. We knew what they said in the WikiLeaks letter to Hillary Clinton. You can talk to Black Lives Matter, but don't promise them nothing. Don't give them no promises. Talk with the black people. Don't give them no promises. But you talk with the Asians and you give them promises. You talk about everybody, the gays, the straight, the Latinos, the Arabs, the Indians, everybody you talk to, and you give them policies. But you talk, we started running our mouth. You tell us, you'll find some way to shut us up. Project 25, you better shut up, Negro. You don't want that to come get you. Shut it up, Negro. You know, they use that same slave philosophy, that slave mindset, that they boogeyman us to stay on the plantation. And let me say this real quick. Leaving the Democratic plantation is not a sign of freedom if you go into the Republican plantation. If you're going to leave the Democratic Party to join another party, that is just as bad. It's like leaving Mr. Lewis's plantation to go to Mr. Johnson plantation. Leave them plantations alone. This is why we're not going to agree, Ricky, because you don't care about reparation. You're a highly paid, successful entertainer. Kudos to you, and I like you, man. Don't get me wrong. I like your comedy. I like you. I've been to your comedy show in Virginia Beach. Very funny man. Very funny. I'm not a fan of you in your grandma outfit. You know, that remind me of my cousin Eddie when he do his thing. You know, but my cousin Eddie is part of that LGBTQ plus community. I don't know about you, Ricky. I don't know about you. Keep going.
Let's get on my damn nerves, man. Why everybody making all these celebrities making all these videos going off on Kamala Harris and stuff, and then the black?
They got every right to. Never. I think I heard her one time talked about her being black, and that's probably because of under pressure. She's trying to run for president, and you run for president, you'll lie like a doggone rug, anything. But I think the Democratic Party is pushing her to don't say anything about you not being black. Let's let everybody say that for you. Even if you're not, we need you to cosplay because we need you to get that black vote. Because if they find out you ain't black, you're going to lose the black vote. Not really. We don't really care about that if you got some policies. We don't just want you to be pretending. Be the majority Indian woman that you are. We're not asking you to be Scotch-Irish. Be the Indian woman. Be your mother. You can be Indian and talk about doing some things for the black community. You can be white and talk about what you're going to do with the black community. You can be black. It doesn't matter. Be you, and then you start talk about your plans for black America. That's all. We got our reasons, Ricky, and that's one.
Me and Kamala Harris didn't prosecute you and treated you bad in court. I got treated bad in court, too.
Her record is abysmal. I'm gonna let you finish this talking point because you're gonna tell us that what y'all been quoting online is wrong.
But I'm with her because a vote for her. If you sit at home and you don't support her, you.
But they took Hillary Clinton's motto from last year. I'm with her. And then they take Barack Obama. They're gonna try to put those two together and put it on a T-shirt. Boy, I bet you they flying like hot fire, like hotcakes at the New York fashion store.
You are definitely supporting Donald Trump. You can vote for who you want.
You're not definitely supporting Donald Trump. You're lying, Ricky. You're lying. You're a bald-faced liar. Nobody has to pick one of the two. And nobody has to support the other in order to not support her. I ain't got to support her or Donald Trump. I don't support her or Donald Trump. Now, as of right now, Donald Trump is beating her in the policies issue because there's a lot of policies of Trump's Agenda 47 that I can get with. You guys tried to scare me to make me think, oh, nothing's in Agenda 47 for you, Negro. And when somebody talk like that and tell me what it's not for me, it makes me go see. See, they banking that we can scare you and let you know that this thing is not for you. Don't even touch it. Don't go near it. Don't even inquire about it because it's not for you. Just as a fear tactic because they fear that if you're going to look at it and see some things in there and say, you know, son, I can get with that. I can get with that one. I can get with that. No men in sports, women's sport, I can get with that. You want to bring manufacturing jobs back to the United States? I can get with that. You want American-made products? I can get with that. These are some of the things in the Trump 47 plan. I can get with that. So right now, he's winning in that policy area. I'm seeing that she's trying to steal some of his policies with the tax program. No taxes on Social Security. We're going to expand Social Security. He said that. They're trying to make it seem like he ain't going to do that Trump's not going to. The man got it on his agenda that he's going to expand it and he's going to no tax on it and no tax on tips way before she took it. She took his idea and put it in her platform. Stealing it. Because at the end of the day, they don't want you to see that Agenda 47 because they want an opportunity to say, hey, we came up with these policies. They copied me. And you will believe it because you never looked at it prior to her having her agenda. I looked at everybody's platform. I looked at everybody's agenda. And there's things in everybody's agenda that I can get with that. There's some things I can't get with that. Trump on this Israel, staunch stand on Israel, continuing the genocide. I can't get with that. But if you ain't with her, you definitely for him. Negro, if you don't shut your mouth up with that lie. I'm not the smartest person in the world. But these are brainwash ignorance. They brainwash you with ignorance. They've been doing this to us for years. This brainwash of ignorance that if you ain't with them, you with them. How can I be with them? I'm far away from both of y'all turkeys. Y'all are toxic. I don't want to have nothing to do with you guys. Nothing. And I can see a policy in each one of y'all that I can gravitate. But because of you guys doing this mess, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. Couch 2024. Let me say this. I will never sit on the couch. I will always go out and vote. Let me repeat to you. I'm going to say it like Dr. Umar Johnson. Let me say, I will never sit on the couch. I will always go out and vote. Now, I may not vote for the top two people on the ticket. I'm in New York. There's always the third, fourth party, stuff like that. Let's say I don't vote for neither one of them. There's still your local judges, you still got your comptroller, you still got your aldermen, you still got your assemblymen, you still got those people that you need to vote for. And in New York, we have ballot initiatives. They might have something on the table where, like we had to legalize marijuana. We had voted for that. And they're going to have more things that the people get to vote on. We don't have to worry about Congress making the decision or not. We can vote for. We voted for the Medicare for all. We did for all. We ain't got to wait for a politician to get this done. They could put it on a ballot initiative and the people can vote on it and it can become law. This is why you still go out and vote because you don't know what else is on that ticket. And I don't encourage people to vote blue straight down or red straight down. Get to know your candidate, past, present, and future, and what he have done and what he's talking about doing for you and your community. Don't be biased. and be a religious zealot, be a cult member. I only listen to people within the Church of God of Christ. I don't listen to nobody outside. I don't listen to them TV preachers. My pastor's the only person I listen to. Them TV preachers, they'll stir you away. Maybe your pastor stir you away. You got to be an open person. You can't be so closed. Let me keep going. I'm sorry. This going.
But don't be trying to encourage other people and sit up there and put bad stuff. Where's that same energy for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
You doing the same thing. You're encouraging people bad stuff. You immediately start talking about Donald Trump. The Democratic Party has nothing else but what about the other party? Ain't nobody thinking about the other party but you. You're afraid that we might give our vote to the other party. And some of us will just to be spiteful. Just to be spiteful. Some people will. Just for the simple fact that for 40 years you haven't done nothing for us. I'm going to see what this person going to do. It's just like a person in a relationship. You deny your wife 40 years of sex, believe me, she getting something somewhere sooner or later, man. You keep denying her, neglecting her like that, somebody going to come swoop her up, and it ain't going to take much, dog. It ain't going to take much. You cannot expect somebody to be committed to you when you neglect them over and over again. All she wants you to do is rub her booty until she go to sleep. Now, I ain't got time for that. Man, you better rub that booty, man. Better rub that booty, smack it, flip it, rub it down, whatever you need to do. That's your wife, man. Rub that booty. Don't neglect her. Democratic Party been neglecting black people, giving us symbols. Let's keep going.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just like, don't vote for him. It is what it is.
They're not even doing, y'all not even out here doing real research. To look at her record. If you do the research or whatever, stop believing everything you read and do real research, you can see what a record is.
Most people do real research, Ricky. Nobody just read anything. Now, if they do read anything, they read the same sources you read. It's called the news. It's called the AP. It's called the San Francisco Chronicle. It's called, people read newspapers. They read the results of cases that has been done, over with, or cases to come. They read the City Hall records. It's easy to get access to that stuff, of different case files. They can go to the library and look it up. They can go old school and look it up on a fish disc. But you don't have to do that no more. You can do all that stuff online. So what are you talking about? What kind of research do you do, Ricky Smiley? Tell me. Let's see.
You can see what she have done. I think you can Google what have Kamala Harris done for the black community.
So that's how you got your research? You telling people do some real research. Don't just read, but you're gonna tell people to Google what have she done for the black community, so it can pop up, so we can do what? Read. At the end of the day, you're reading. Don't just read anything that you put up, but you're telling people to Google what have Kamala Harris done for the black people, which I've Googled. It's not something you could Google up. He originally went to what Kamala Harris did for black people. Or let's go back to what he said.
Her record. If you do the research or whatever, stop believing everything you read and do real research, you can see what a record is. You can see what she have done. I think you can Google what have.
I think you can Google. If you stop reading, do some real research. You need to stop reading. You need to do some real research. You're scared to do the research because what we've been saying is true, and you have nothing but to cover it up. Because you got to get her over Trump. Anybody but Trump, right? Anybody over Trump. So you got to fabricate, hide, shame. You got to take the ice pick and put it in your pocket that she stabbed the dude with 20 times. You got to take it from her and put it in your pocket just to cover up for her. Because you don't want her to get caught, right? What kind of research that is? I think you can Google.
Kamala Harris done for the black community, or things that black people benefit from.
He had to change that. He said, I think you can find things that Harris had done for the black community. He know that don't exist. So he had to change and say that black people can benefit from. See, this is the whole thing. Black people can benefit from. Also, white women can benefit from. Also, Latinos. Also, migrants. People who are not even citizens here can benefit from. This is the reason why we saying no to both of these candidates. Because we don't want to be in that category that we can benefit from. That means everybody benefiting from it. We want an exclusive package for us, and you don't like it and you hate it, and you'd rather tout her versus tout us. You ever choose, like you was talking about, choose one of the side? You choosing the side of I'm with her, but you're not with us. You need to say, look, I'm with them, Kamala Harris. In order for us to be for you, you gotta be for us. But you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that at all.
A lot. We need to stand with her.
Yes.
We need to stand with her. She's great. She will make a great president.
We need to stand with her. Why? She'll make a great president Tell me why she'll make a great president. Because she's pretty? I mean, she's a little older, but she was something else. She was a little fine thing. When she was young, I mean, she's not a bad looking lady. It's that Indian in her. She got that Indian hair. Look, they were talking about that silk press. And I don't take her hard to get that. That's her natural. Her hair been like that. She always had that white girl hair. Her hair always been white girlish. She had to curl it up to make it look black. Why we need to stand with her? What has she done for us lately? But try to hoodwink, bamboozle us?
What a blessing to be living in a time where a black woman can become president of the United States of America. In our time, we get a black man and a black woman become president. That's unheard of.
Come on.
Yes, it is. It's a wonderful, beautiful thing to have that. But that's imagery. That is symbolism. And Malcolm X told us that white society, the people who run both parties, the people who actually run the federal government, black people not running the federal government, I don't care who they put there as a puppet, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, we know that they don't really run the government. They can influence, they have their part to play, but they don't run it. And Malcolm X said that these people would do anything but give you what you really need. They'll rather give you symbolism. They're going to throw these symbols at you and expect you to take that as empowerment. Seeing Barack Obama become president and possibly Kamala Harris become president isn't black empowerment. And it definitely ain't foundational black empowerment because they're not foundational black American. And to put two black people up there, so-called black people, like I said, let's say Kamala Harris is black, to put two black people up there, that doesn't mean nothing if they have an anti-black agenda. And all their policies are not to promote black people, but to promote everybody else but black people. They're still considered anti-black philosophies. There's many black people in Congressional Black Caucus. A lot of them are not foundational black Americans. A lot of them are immigrants that are anti-foundational black Americans. Heck, some of them don't even like black people, period. And they black. What a blessing to have both. Yes, if they plan on doing something for black people, it would be a blessing. But that didn't happen fair for the first guy, Barack Obama. And I got a mixed bag with Barack Obama. A lot of stuff he did I didn't like. Some things he did I like. But at the end of the day, no concrete manifested things for black people. And we put you in office above everybody. I mean, almost 100% of black people put Barack Obama in office. You're not going to get any higher in a campaign than that 2008 campaign because I was on it. I knew the numbers. And boy, we went out there, man. I had brothers. I had a team of brothers out there putting doggone signs out there, Barack Obama, because we knew that brother was going to really push hard for black people. He was going to push hard for police immunity. He was going to push hard for jobs and all that for black people. We just thought he was going to go all out for black people. Nope. Wrong. Nah. That's okay. Vote for me again. And no, I got your back. No, you didn't. We did it again. No, you didn't. And then you're going to get mad at us and say, I count it as an insult if the black community don't support Hillary Clinton. Did you support the black community? I mean, yeah, we got sucked into the symbolism, but on paper. I'm not talking about an all lives matter policy, a jobs program, or what they call the federal packages or something where we can do some construction work and stuff like that. Nah, that's for all people. That's to lift up America. But black people needed some specific things done for us. Did you do it, Barack Obama? No. Didn't you say you're going to do it when you get office? No. Yet you want us to believe this lady who's not even foundational, not even half black. She is not Barack Obama. Barack Obama was poised. He was good with his words. He was sharp. He knew how to communicate. And occasionally, he touched your heart when he did certain things. Especially when we talk about how Trayvon Martin could have been his son, But it couldn't have been Kamala Harris' son. Not with Doug. Maybe her and Willie Brown had a son, Montel Williams, but not with Doug. You're trying to find a reason for us to be for her.
Stop it.
Messy. Be on the right side of history. Be on the right side.
Let me tell you something. I don't know who this brother is talking about be on the right side of history. How do you figure this is the right side of history? Having a black woman in office. It's not about the moment. It's about the timing. It's not about the moment. A moment is a moment is a specific time frame. Timing is based on relevancy. Is it time to have her, a black woman or Indian woman or Asian woman or Scotch-Irish Indian woman of Indian descent. Having her in office, is that right for us at this time when we're trying to push survival tactics from foundational black Americans? Especially when she said, I'm not going to do anything just for black people. No. But she's done things for the Asians. She's done things for her people. Right side of history. This is not historic when you're telling us that you're not going to do nothing for us. You didn't do nothing for us as Joe Biden VP. As VP, you can do stuff. People think, oh, VP don't do nothing but sit there and listen to the president. No, as VP, you can go to the president and say, hey, I got this initiative I want to do. I want to do this initiative. So, just let you know. I mean, if you need me for something to work with you, fine. But I want to take this through a press conference and announce it and push on this if you don't mind, sir. She could have did some stuff. Get out of here with that stuff. She's going out as a border czar. She's going out there. If she can do all that stuff, she could do something for black people too before she get elected. You telling us that you're going to do all these things for us if we elect you, but you are already in office. There's a moment in history. Be on the right side of history. I don't want to be the right side of wrong. I don't want to be the right side of prosecuting on a higher level. I don't want to be a side. History don't mean jack if you're going to prosecute on a higher level. It don't mean jack to me if you're pushing all these agendas. I don't want y'all going around telling my nieces and nephew who's barely in school that they can have go take pills to turn their no. Or they can go get something done to themselves. If you feel like you can go be a little girl. No. We need to go back to having abortions all willy-nilly. No, I don't support that. I've gotten girl pregnant out of wedlock before. I was excited. Come to find out when she told me she was pregnant, she told me something else I didn't want to hear. That she was still married, but they've been separated a year. And the reason I got to abort this baby is because I don't want him to know that I got pregnant by another man. Broke my heart. I begged her, don't do it. I begged her and say I'll take care of the child. I'm not for you having an abortion all willy-nilly. You done had sex and had a good time. You didn't strap up. You didn't take pills. You didn't get the shots. You just bang, bang, bang. You ain't have, your game wasn't right. And now you want to go get an abortion because Chuck broke up with you. I'm not for that. I don't want to be on the right side of history if it's involving that. If it's involving sexualizing our kids and having different people to come read to our kids and telling people, our kids, that if you feel a certain way, you can change your sex and all that kind of stuff at an early age. I'm not for that. I want to be on the right side of history of that crap. I will vote vehemently against that. But that's what the Tim Walz-Harris Walz campaign supports. To me, you doing abortion all willy-nilly is the same thing as Israel bombing Gaza. To me, it's a soft genocide of your own people. You realize how strong of a people we would have been if we didn't fall for these tactics of population control given to us by white society and white supremacists like Margaret Sanger and stuff like that, convincing black women to just, hey, you don't need his permission. You don't want it, you ain't gotta have it. It's your body. Do what you want to do. You want to have, you pregnant, go and get rid of it, girl. You ain't got to, he broke up with you. He ain't coming back. You don't know that.
It's just the Amber Rose and everybody got all these videos and stuff and talking about Kamala Harris talking out of both sides of her.
Ricky. People gonna put out videos, especially when they can prove it. You could put out videos of Trump talk out of the backside of his mouth too. He talk out of the backside of his mouth. I had to get on Trump telling people that how you gonna be a Democrat and call yourself a Zionist or you support Israel? Democrats don't. Man, shut up. You're not a real Jew if you're in the Democratic Party. Man, if you don't stop that, shut up. Can't say nothing like that. You're not a real Jew. If you're not a real Christian, if you don't support me. Out of here, man. You sound like an idiot.
How would you say something so disrespectful? Even if you felt that way, I wouldn't dare make a video or say nothing like that to the vice president.
You guys be trashing Donald Trump when he was the president. You're saying that you wouldn't say nothing against Kamala Harris because she's the vice president and she deserves respect. But you don't think Donald Trump, who was the president, deserve respect. Both of them got dirt. The only difference between Kamala Harris, Trump, and the rest of these people in office right now or running for office is most of them have done crimes. They just covered it up. I think one of the reasons why they don't want Trump in office is because Trump might go after them for the crimes that they have committed. Since y'all went after him for the crimes that he committed, and ever rightfully so. If he committed the crime and y'all charged him and convicted him, then rightfully so. You commit the crime, you should do the time. Now, those are soft petty crimes, financial crimes, so there ain't going to be no real jail time for that. It's almost unlikely. But likewise, on the Kamala Harris side, I'm quite sure she did some stuff with Steve Mnuchin and all those guys as the AG. She ain't clean. And Nancy Pelosi definitely ain't clean. And half the people on Capitol Hill, Mitch McConnell, all them guys inside trading, most of them guys are not clean. And they're afraid that if Trump be put in power, Trump might go after them and prosecute them just like they prosecuted Trump, and rightfully so. Because you did the same crime, you just probably haven't been caught yet. You're not running for office. You're not at the point where people hate you so bad that you'll find the smallest thing to convict. They say you can indict a ham sandwich, you can convict a ham sandwich. If you can indict a ham sandwich, you can convict a ham sandwich. And Donald Trump is a ham sandwich. How could you disrespect the vice president? I wouldn't even do nothing like that. I wouldn't even do nothing like that. But you do it to Trump all day.
Of the United States of America that's trying to stand up and that's going to possibly pick 2 United States Supreme Court justices or whatever to try to keep the laws in place that Thurgood Marshall and all of the people that have paved the way.
Thurgood Marshall. You're going to invoke Thurgood Marshall when it comes to Kamala Harris. We got Ketanji Jackson Brown, who have hurt unions through her votes as a judge. Ketanji Brown, who don't have a track record of pushing black people in their cases. Not a big history. You got Ketanji Brown, white husband. Kamala Harris, white husband. Sometimes you're going to be put in a tough position where your husband don't agree with some things that the black community do. Who's going to come first in those situations? Are you going to check your husband for the sake of your people? And people say, oh, that shouldn't matter. You're bringing up people's spouses. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Most of these women in power don't have a black man as their spouse, where it's easy that, when it comes to talk about black issues, it won't be no heat. It might be some heat, but it's at the end of the day, it's a black thing you wouldn't understand. Kamala Harris have to think about, let's say brothers turning up on the streets. She got to put out the order to try to stop them. She may say, nah, I'm going to let them do that. And the husband might say, yeah, how you going to let them do that? They just, someone went into my auntie's house and stuff, auntie business and stuff like that. Those are tough calls you got to make when you have a spouse that's not connected to your community. These are things you have to iron out before you even get a spouse outside your community. And nothing wrong with getting a spouse outside your community. If you want to get your white woman, Asian woman, something, I ain't got no problem with that. I don't know if it's the beard or not, but I go down the store, them Russian ladies be going crazy over old Rob. I like my women chocolate. Thurgood Marshall, he's going to quote these people.
And try to redo and get back into some of this settled law, women's rights to choose, your voting rights, and Brown versus the Board of Education. Should do your homework, black
hold
people.
up. Let me just tell you something right here.
This dude having a hissy fit. Thurgood Marshall, Brown board. What does have to do with electing her? Oh, you think that they're going to get rid of all that? See, you fell for this fear tactic. Man, they've been saying this stuff forever. The same thing every election. When I was on the Bush side, Bush going to roll back. Stop. And honestly speaking, I like that. I like the fact that if you're going to try to touch one of our civil liberties, that's a good thing to me. That wakes us up to put foot to your behind. I don't need nobody putting us to sleep. At the same time, they doing the same things that we feared. They're doing it, but they're doing it while we sleep. The scripture said, what you fear will come among you. Fear is a reverse faith. It's faith in fear. It's faith in a horror about to happen to you. And when you're in fear, you attract that horror into your life. That's why I don't fall for this fear stuff. I'm not going to fear no Project 2025. I'm not going to let nobody fear me. Plus, I understand who the Heritage Foundation is and how they get down. And I know Project 2025 is not a presidential policy. They want to use it as a guideline for the conservative movement, but most conservative, they're not taking that thing literally. Hey, Bill Clinton picked up a couple things out of the last project with the Heritage Foundation with Newt Gingrich. That whole welfare cutoff limit, that came from the Heritage Foundation. After 4, no more. You're not getting no more food stamps. After 4, that came from the Project 2025 of the 90s. And guess who picked it up? A Democrat. That platform, Project 2024, is not just a conservative platform. That's a platform, that's an agenda for America that they're hoping that one of the presidents pick up. It wasn't just for Donald Trump, even though some of the Donald Trump staff members drew it up. Yes, that's true. They drew it up, but they're not working for Trump. They're working for the Heritage Foundation. So if the Heritage Foundation say this is our vision for the next president, whether it's Democratic or not, we're going to hand it to him. Guess what? They have no choice but to sign off for it because they work for them. And then here, Negroes want to get all into the symbolism stuff that does not give you cheaper gas. It does not put food on your table. It does not stop you from getting your head cracked in the street. It does not raise your minimum wage up to a livable wage. It doesn't do all that. It doesn't fight for union activism and stuff like that. It doesn't bring a black agenda, and it doesn't bring reparations. That's symbolism. But these people right now about to go through a symbolism symposium right now. Listen to this.
That could be very historic. And Kay pointed this out to me. If Kamala Harris is elected, she would be sworn in.
She could be sworn
on
in
MLK Day
by the first black Supreme
and
Court
possibly
woman
by
justice.
Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Yeah.
Does
Stop
that
it.
not give you chills?
Come on
Stop
now.
it.
Does that not?
Oh Lord, these Negroes actually whizzing on themselves right now. They having an orgasm right now, man. Really?
Seeing
Maria,
just make your whole body vibrate.
Maria,
Oh my
I can go
gosh.
deep into that. You got to remember.
But did he? He said, "Hold up, wait a minute. I can go one up on you. Hold up, wait till you hear this. Wait a minute. Wait till you hear this. I got one better than that."
Of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, reading in a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated into the damn White House. What's wrong with y'all?
The average don't know what the heck that is and could care less. All we know is something our grandma them used to be in. We don't know them Negroes and that stuff right now. Most of the people go to college don't even pledge sororities right now. They get in and get out. Most of them take their colleges online. And he about to have an orgasm. Oh, you know, he having an orgasm over this stuff. This is Ricky Smiley right now. Once he said that, man, this is what he was doing.
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated into the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, reading in a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated into the damn White House. What's wrong with y'all?
Come on, man.
MLK holiday.
But y'all mad
Baby,
because she ain't
y'all.
talking about
Who
reparations.
was a
man.
member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated?
Come on.
Come on now.
Game.
These
Oh
Negroes.
my God.
These Negroes having a sorority orgasm, and most white people don't give a crap about that. That's you. That's you, boulays. This is something y'all get a kick out of. You sitting up there whizzing all over the place over, I just thought about it. She can be sworn in by this person on that date. Both, that's a Kappa, this a Delta, all coming together under one sun, and the sun shining, and the Lord God cracked open the sky and said, "This is good." Man, get out of here with that mess, man. Negroes don't care about that. That ain't paying our bills. That's not bringing the housing prices down. That's not bringing the rent prices down. That's not bringing the gas prices down. That's not bringing our pay structure up where we can enjoy more money. That's not bringing jobs from overseas back to America. That's not bringing America-made jobs back. That ain't got nothing to do with that. And y'all sitting up here whizzing, rubbing your nipples in ecstasy over the possibility of a Delta swearing in a Sigma or whatever. I don't know. I get these Greek sorority having a Lord Jesus.
Just make your whole body vibrate.
Maria,
Oh my
I can go
gosh.
deep into that. You got to remember.
She said it made her whole body vibrate. She's sitting there getting moist, literally getting moist over a thought. Man, look, when I don't get turned off. I don't get turned on by that stuff, man. Maybe Jill Scott butt naked, something like that. I don't know. That don't turn me on. That don't make my whole body vibrate. She said the thought of this happening make my whole body vibrate. What is wrong with these Negroes, man?
Does
Stop
that
it.
not give you chills?
Come on.
Stop.
now.
Well, let me just tell you something right here that could be very historic, and Kay pointed this out to me. If Kamala Harris is elected,
This is a good looking sister too. Sister, is that what it takes to make you get like that? I'll take you to every sorority step group in town. If I can get you like that and bring you home, I will take you to every college. Come on, sister. You can't sit there and say that made my whole body vibrate.
she would be sworn in
She could be
on
sworn in
MLK Day
by the first black Supreme
and
Court
possibly
woman
by
justice.
Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Yeah.
Does
Stop
that
it.
not give you chills?
Come on.
Stop
now.
it.
Does that not send
Maria,
just make your whole body?
Let me go back to this thing. At the see, this that symbolism. We got the first, they trying to claim black. The first black, actually the first Indian, Scotch Irish, still the first woman president, still the first, possibly, getting sworn in by the first black judge with both of their white husbands on each side. No black husbands. A Delta. This is amazing. Just the thought of it. It's amazing.
Body vibrate.
Maria,
Oh my
I can go
gosh.
deeper than that. You got a member of
She talking about her body vibrating. He talking about, girl, I can go deeper. Boy, y'all having sex on the set or something, man? Come on, man.
Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated reading in a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated into the damn White House. What's
Come
wrong
on
with
now.
y'all?
Come on,
on
man.
MLK holiday.
But y'all
Baby,
mad because she ain't
y'all.
talking about
And who
reparations.
was
This food, let me go back here.
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated into the damn White House? What's
Come
wrong
on
with
now.
y'all?
Come on,
on
man.
MLK holiday.
But y'all mad
Baby,
because she ain't
y'all.
talking about
And who
reparations.
was
Which one is more important? Which one is more important to your community? All this symbolism? Well, we got an Alpha and a Delta that can be swearing in on that day. First black woman vice president, becoming president, first black Supreme Court president. On this day, they can be swearing each other on Martin Luther King Day. And that's more important than a black agenda and reparations? That's an event. That's an event. That is an event. Talking about being on the right side of history. This is an event. We're talking about a mandate. And you talking about a freaking event. And you got the nerves to sit there and make that asinine statement, and y'all worried about her not saying nothing about reparation. You doggone right. Her not having a black agenda, you doggone right. Because all of this is for her. It's for them. This makes them look good. It does nothing for us. Man, when Barack Obama got elected, man, boy, the birds was chirping. I heard music, rise and shine music with no radio. Man, we went outside, man. Folks we were enemies with. And one brother, man, he got in at one time, man, toe to toe, tried to kill each other. But that day was a day of unity. We both bumped chests. Brand new day. It felt good. It made black people look good that we finally got a black president. It made the black culture feel like we finally arrived, and we didn't. We rode that high for a good 6 months. Then we found out the first law he passed was a law for white women. Supposed to lean over to black women, but it primarily helped white women. Nothing wrong with that. That's what he's supposed to do. He's half black, he's half white. He's supposed to be, I'm not the president of black people. I'm not president of white people. I'm president of all people. All right, then get to working on some legislation for black people instead of most of the white people. Don't you dare leave this 4 years without doing something for black people. Okay. No, okay. It was an okay. Put me in again, coach. Give me 4 more years. Still enough. Symbolism does not empower the black community. Empower you guys, because you guys are part of that community. That is your community. The sorority community is your community, Ricky Smiley. It's your community. It's not ours. You come down here. If you come down here to the South Bronx with that sorority crap, man, they're going to look at you like you crazy. If you go down to doggone Brownsville with that sorority crap when people down here are barely making ends meet, you going to get, boy, you go down to Best Eye. Because these people don't give a crap about symbolism. The symbolism is played out. We trying to get some payout. This foolishness.
Who is a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity
What
Incorporated.
is wrong with you?
Come on now.
Come on now.
Game-
Oh my God,
Game
that just
changer.
gave me chill. That gave me
Rock team.
chills.
Game changer,
Rock
dog.
team. Game.
Man,
Talk.
You still, these people still isn't all over this recording studio. Still having no orgasm.
About
Y'all better
game.
come
Go
get
to
me off
sports,
this
'cause
radio
you better
today.
come get
Hey,
him.
you keep going. You want to keep
Today.
going, dog? You want to keep
Today.
going?
Oh,
They ain't gonna be mad at you today, Rick. Hey, man.
Ain't nobody gonna be mad at him. We looking at him like he a damn fool. You sitting up here about to have an orgasm over thoughts of sororities coming together to initiate the first vice president into being the president, possibility by a black judge. And all I can see is symbols. They're doing nothing for the black community. To this day, nothing's done, and which leads me that tomorrow's nothing gonna be done. That's all I see. You could plaster up the different deltas, the sigma symbols. It don't mean nothing to most of the people, most black people in America. Most black people in America don't even go to college. So how you gonna sit there and make that be our thing too? It's not gonna be our thing. We're different. As D.L. Hughley said, we're different. We're different. Our mindset is we're putting you in the office. We've been putting you in office for 40, 50 years. This year, we ain't playing no games. You ain't going to fear us. You ain't going to scare us. You're not going to use manipulation tactics on us. What do you have on our 40, homie? Are you going to push our black agenda? And are you going to get us reparation with cash payment? If not, then yeah. The other side, if they talk about doing it, we may entertain it. We may go ahead and do it we may give them the vote. We don't know. Our vote is powerful. And we're starting to vote in the block right now. And we have a certain block that say no black agenda, no vote. That is the mandate of our voting block in Foundation America. Now, a lot of foundational black Americans not on that. They're on this blue no matter who stuff too. But you got a remnant that say, no, we're not doing blue no matter who. We're not doing red till you're dead. We're not doing this slut voting. We're not just going to give you the vote just to be given. We need to talk. Yeah, and it do sound like that your girlfriend who just told you, look, we need to talk. When you know your girlfriend tell you we need to talk, it ain't got nothing about what they doing wrong. It's about what you doing wrong. And yeah, Foundation Black American Community, the Freedmans are saying, we got to talk because you've been doing something wrong. And if you don't get it right, we're leaving. We're giving you a chance to get it right. And we ain't going to wait till you get elected because we're not going to add to your election until you start getting it right now. You're in power now. We ain't thinking about no symbolism, Ricky Smiley. And we ain't thinking about your feelings or none of that. We can care less. We can care less about your feelings. We can care less about D.L. Hughley feeling. We can care less about Aaron Spears and all that, and Pierre and all that, because I'm getting on all of them sooner or later. We don't care. Most of y'all people are not even foundational. There's a lot of people in the entertainment community that's not foundational that's going to try to tell foundational people that we need to shut up about a reparation. And y'all going to do all this to her because she's not supporting reparation? No, she's doing it to herself because she's not supporting reparation. She's doing it to herself because she the one said it out of her own big blab mouth. I ain't going to do nothing just for black people. Nah, matter of fact, let me play that for you. Yeah, this is what she said to us, and this is why we're calling her out to the carpet. And we're not just gonna say that we're with her like you are. Only an idiot would do that. You will never lend your 100% support to a candidate unless you know that they're gonna do something for you. You cannot assume that just because they're a person of color that they're going to automatically have the black community best interest at heart. No, they got being in office best interest at heart. Just get me in there, coach. Get me in there. I just want to say I played. I don't know nothing about blocking. I don't know nothing about tackling. I don't know nothing about getting the interception, but put me in, coach. What about putting you in? And when we tried to help you learn how to pass, learn how to do an interception, learn how to tackle, you didn't want to get off the bench. But now you want to get on the bench, get off the bench? Ricky, she the one said this to us. And you expect us to be with her? This is what she said to us.
Do you support reparations for black people?
Well, listen. Again, we had over 200 years of slavery.
The answer was yeah or no. Yes or no. Don't come giving us no word salad, then talk about what you plan on doing with your Mickey Mouse menial plan for all people. It wasn't even a plan for black people. Look, like I said, I got to go there. Trump and his platinum plan, whether it work or not, was strictly for black people. It wasn't for Asians. It wasn't for Hispanics. It was a plan for black people. Trump wanted to do the opportunity zone, whether it work or not, but that was strictly for plan. At least he had a plan for black people. Your plan over here on the left it pretends to be for black people, but when you go into detail, and I've done it, go back look at no video, it quickly the language turned from black to black and brown and for all people, lifting all people up. This lady right now is still trying to push, and I'm going to go over that, talk about the Freedmen Bank, which was done for foundational black American freedmen. This is our bank for us to help the black community begin to prosper. It's for us. She want to turn it into a all lives matter bank, but you want us to be with her, and she's not being with her, with us. And then she got the nerves to not being blunt, saying, yeah, no, yes, I support it. She's going to dance around the bend like an old country hen.
We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, black people have not.
It should have been, see, this is where you got to catch them. This conversation was reparation for black people. Why are you talking about all people and then finally come to particularly black people? The whole conversation should have been about black people. Everybody haven't gotten an equal footing. Everybody don't supposed to get an equal footing. Only the black people who built this country supposed to get an equal footing with the white colonizers that built this country. People who came here and immigrated don't have a right to that. They don't. Now, have they extended on the country? Yes, and they got paid, they got education, and they got all kind of perks from the day they was at Ellis Island, from the people who coming through the border right now. We didn't get that. And even when it was free, it was denied 40 acres and a mule. And we did pull ourselves from the bootstraps. And then they tried to steal our boots in our straps. And then we had to pull ourselves for whatever we could pull ourselves with. And she's still focused on all people. She would never be focused on just black people. That's why she said that in this particular legendary, will never leave the internet, will always be on our face. And this is one of the reasons why we're not with her. This.
And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act.
The LIFT Act. She wants to say that's the reparation that she's going to give black people. But did she know that it's not a reparation for black people? It's not even reparation at all. It is a platform or a party plank that she wants to initialize to lift all people up. And it ain't nothing but a tax credit. The same tax credit she was talking about today on the campaign trail.
Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of black families who are in poverty.
So it's going to lift up 60% of black people. Who else is going to lift up? And it's not going to lift us out of poverty.
By default, it affects black families, not a policy for Africa.
But no, if you look at the reality of who...
But just say you don't want to do nothing for black people. You could have said it at the beginning. She eventually says it.
Will benefit from certain policies when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing. It will directly benefit black children, black families, black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus,
and they'll benefit the Latinos, the Latino family, the white women and the LGBTQ. It's going to benefit everybody. We would never get to the point where we need to be with All Lives Matter plan. And I know it sounds, I know a lot of immigrants don't want to hear this, but it's true. We founded this country with the white colonizers. They got all the wealth. We demand equality in that same wealth. You guys came later. So you rightfully don't have a claim to that. We do. And that is why we're pushing for reparation. You want to settle this claim. Here's what we're demanding for settlement. Reparations to the tune of trillions. Cash payments. That's just the starters. This stuff that you're doing for these illegal aliens, some migrants, but mostly illegal aliens, we should be having access to that. Now, predicated, I think that the veterans should be put up in five-star hotels, and they should have a gallery where they don't have to buy food, and it should be health care. What we're giving the migrant workers should be given strictly to the veterans, and then we'll find a tier 2 program for the homeless people, especially the veterans. The veterans shouldn't have to worry about food, clothing, and shelter ever in their life. There should always be companies donating food to them. There should always be five-star buildings to give them the best life to offer. But when it comes to us, we built this country and we want equal pay as the same as the colonizers. Those people who benefited off our free labor and got filthy stinking rich. We want to take a claim in that, and she don't want us to have that. She want to give us something else.
Focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparity, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that.
Then give us our reparation. Why don't you get on the campaign trail to lock in a majority of the black, to get the foundational black Americans on your side? Why don't you get on the campaign trail and say, starting today, you're going to start the platform to give cash payment reparations and all that stuff to foundational black Americans. Foundational black Americans. You're not going to do it. Yet you want us to vote for you. But this will guarantee you that Trump won't even get 5% of the vote, black vote. Start saying, I'm going to give reparations to the freedmans, the original free. You ain't got to say FBA, but the original freedmans.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. Let's really be clear about that.
Let's keep hearing
So
that.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
She said it with her whole chest. Her whole chest, her two titties, nipples, and everything. She said that. She bounced with it. She did all that. She did every bouncing dance you can think of. She went straight hydraulics, Cali style back in the 70s, lowrider. She did all that with every emotion. Everything in her meant that. I'm not just going to do nothing for black people. No, but you want black people to ride with her, Ricky. This is what you want us to do. Are you out of your freaking mind? Are you out of your freaking minds? Go back to Ricky. Go back.
Yeah, well, stop the music.
Go, dog, go. Go.
I don't care about who get mad. I know I'm right.
Nobody's getting mad at you because we know you're wrong and you look silly. You look stupid. You look silly and you look stupid. I repeat again, to the black community, you look silly and you look stupid. Now, to the people that are in the cult, I would say, the people who are already saying I'm with her and don't even know why you're with her. You're only with her because she's black. You're only with her because she's Democrat. You're not with her because it's no different from them fools, MAGA fools. Trump, red MAGA hat, Trump. Why? Oh, he's going after the swamp and all that. Hey, I'm down with that, but that fool, every time he go in the swamp, he find his shoes down there. Come on, man. Come on, son.
Y'all need to stop. Do y'all realize Medgar Evers died for voting rights?
Now, he really going to a bold-faced line. Voting rights, he didn't die for that. Medgar Evers died by white supremacists who just couldn't stand his guts for the simple fact that they thought he was becoming an uppity Negro, and the fact that he taunted, of course he did push for voting rights. Every black person pushed for voting rights. But no, he died for black empowerment. Voting was one of the ways we got it, but it wasn't the only way we got it. He was one of the first ones that was pushing community policing and arming yourselves and being able to be in a position to defend yourself against white supremacists, not letting these people just do whatever they want to do with us. And then he went as far as trying to push it hard as a legislator. That's what Medgar Evers was all about. Ricky Smiley, you gotta do your history, bro. Gotta do your history.
These people that have risked their life from slavery up until the civil rights movement, just where we can have an opportunity to do what we do, to do what we can do.
Yeah, but what they got to do with Kamala Harris, Negro? Electing her don't negate that. He did what he did, and he didn't die in vain. He died as a true soldier. And we need to get back to that point where we're willing to die for a cause. Electing, I'm not willing to die for her to become president. I'm not but to die to make sure my people have the resources that they need. Yeah. And we have to turn up to get it done. Yeah. We have to get in the streets to push hard like we did in the 60s. It wasn't Lyndon B. Johnson who just come out of kind of his heart to give black people civil rights. That Negro knew that now Martin Luther King got shot, that we might blame him and everybody under the sun, and him and everybody under the sun might can get some. He knew what just happened to Kennedy. He probably was afraid that was going to happen to him. He figured, hey, let's get these Negroes a little something, something. And he even wrote it in a letter. Let's get these niggas a little something, Negroes. And niggas was a word that he used. Let's get these niggas, give them something, something, just to calm them down. You know, we ain't gonna go too far, but let's at least give them the civil rights. We ain't gonna give them no economic right. Let's give them the civil rights. Let's give them the ability to integrate and all that kind of stuff. Calm them down, because we don't need them turning up on the street. It was not getting people out to vote that did that. It was turning up, the threat of turning it up on the streets and turning it up on people that he was afraid of. He wanted to make sure he didn't have disorder. Martin Luther King get killed, man, with people's going off, and rightfully so. That's what got it done, Ricky.
We ain't seen nothing like this since Barack Obama was running for president in 2008.
Yeah, and now we done seen that. Now we seen this beautiful picture. This is a beautiful picture of Barack Obama, his FBA wife, and his half FBA and half FBA children. He's not FBA. This beautiful picture. FBA strong. He didn't do too much for black people. But now we seen this, and we seen his 8 years. We're not impressed no more. She's not, first of all, she is not him. She's not as charismatic as him. She don't talk like him. She don't walk like him. She don't have the swag like him. She don't have the ability to put people in dreamland with his words, with his charisma. She's not that. She's not charismatic, and she's not a policy thinker like Barack Obama. Barack Obama is the constitutional attorney. He taught constitutional law. She don't know nothing about that. All she knows is about prosecuting. I ain't never seen nothing like this since Barack Obama. I don't care whether I see that again or not. That don't impress me. That impress you. I want to see stuff happen on the ground. I want to see something that happen on the grassroots. I want to see stuff done from the bottom on up, not from the top on down.
We need to stop.
The great John Lewis.
Right, John
Lewis, a man who I talked to personally. I had a problem with John Lewis. Bernie Sanders was running for office, and at that time, I was part of the Bernie Sanders campaign. And he said Hillary Clinton then was at Selma. Now, they got pictures of Bernie Sanders chaining himself up with, working side by side with the organization that John Lewis was with, SNCC, chaining himself up to protesters, black women and everything, saying that if you're going to take her in, you taking me and old white Jewish guy. He talked about how Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton was at Selma, but he tried to make it seem like back when he first marched with Martin Luther King, and that wasn't true. So I asked him about that, and he kind of blew me off. And I'm like, yo, no, you need to explain yourself. Why would you make it seem like Bernie Sanders was not a true freedom fighter? This is when I was part of Bernie Sanders' team. We have evidence of him out there fighting with your organization. You knew this guy was fighting with your organization, SNCC. He was the president of SNCC. He was working with SNCC in Chicago. You knew this. Why you didn't talk about this as he was running for office? You know these people did no marching. Ain't no Hillary Clinton, no Bill Clinton did no marching for no equal rights. He didn't do it. He didn't even want to clear himself. Because as much respect I have for John Lewis, he would do anything the Democratic Party tell him to do. Even if it's something that he didn't want to do, he would have did it. Because when it comes to being a Democrat and being a leader and a Democrat, it's Democrat first. Democrat all day, every day. You don't buck up against the Democrat. You don't buck up against, and I'm not going to be the first example. And me, I'm of a different ilk, and I had to call him out on it.
Lewis and Ralph Abernathy. All of these people that have paved the way for us. We are the new civil rights leaders. We got to get behind people like Ben.
He said, we are the new civil rights leader. Comedians. Malcolm X warned us about these comedians, not to trust them as no civil rights leader. That's what Ben Crump.
And Kamala Harris and all these people out here that's doing, like Roland Martin.
And
all of these people that's out here. And Joy Reid. If you want to be educated, if you really want to know the truth.
If you really want to know the truth, you don't ever go to people like that. There's documentation. There's paperwork. There's receipts. There's a paper trail. There's different websites that are dedicated to distributing the information that you're looking for. It's not hard to find. OpenSecret.gov is one of your greatest pieces to use. You want to listen to a propagandist, a Democratic propagandist like Joy Reid? That's like listening to Ann Coulter on Fox News, or listening to whatever, Gretchen Wilmer, whatever her name. You don't trust news anchors for the media wing of a political party. CNN is Clinton News Network. We used to call it Clinton News Network because all they're going to do is preach blue over red. And then your Fox News is always going to preach red over blue. You got to do your own investigation. You can't trust people like her or Roland Martin or something like that.
All you got to do is turn to MSNBC and watch Joy Reid, and she gonna give you a whole history lesson every night.
No, she's going to lie. She's going to lie and shame and lie and shame. Another person that's not FBA. She's going to lie and shame and lie and shame. Most of these newscasters, they're going to talk about what they have handed them from on high. They don't even have the liberty to really go the way they need to go. But some of them so deep in the coat, man. I be seeing these TikTok videos of Joy Reid looking like she's a mad woman. Oh, y'all gonna regret. Y'all gonna regret. I'm going to get me some waffles and chicken, but y'all gonna regret it. I'm like, what in the world is wrong with this lady? I mean, she actually looked decent with that blonde hair, but the way what she rocking right now, man, I'm a boy. Shout out. That's my African sister, don't get me wrong. Roland Martin is my black brother. We have some issues. We don't agree on a whole lot of stuff. Me and Roland get in it quite often. Me and Joy Reid, we used to get into it. She blocked me. Because I told her that nonchalant abortions is genocide. She ain't like that. I said nonchalant. I'm not saying the legitimate ones, incest, rape, stuff like that. Handicap, medical issues, stuff like that. But, but he want us to trust this. And Rachel Maddow, Miss Russia, and the FBI and the CIA and NSA already proven that Russia didn't have nothing to do with the 2016 election. All they did was you had some Russian citizens that probably took out some ads and Facebook that was less than $400. Get out of here with that mess.
On MSNBC and then after that, Rachel Maddow. All you gotta do is just watch it.
And it's not opinion, it's fact.
Don't do this right here.
Yeah.
No, dude. None of these newscasters have facts. They have opinions and they expect you to prove that it's fact. They want you to assume that it's fact, but they never show that it's fact. Oftentimes, they'll tell a bold-faced lie and retract it the next day. They'll have a bold face in the ad on the website, in the newspaper, and then the next day, they'll have a retraction say, we got it all wrong. It'll be so small you don't see it. So, no. It's not all facts, dude. Get out of here with that mess.
And
Don't be on the internet doing Kamala Harris like that.
Yeah,
I don't care what issue you got with black women. Your mama's a black woman. How about that?
This dude crazy. Don't be doing that. Kamala ain't got nothing to do with my mama. She ain't my mama. She ain't linked to my mama, nothing. She's not a foundational black American like my mom. She's of a different culture, a different heritage. Her mama is Indian. Yeah, my mama is black, fool. Your mama is black. Her mama is Indian. Shut the hell up. Don't be doing her like that. I'll do her like that. I'll do Trump like I do anybody like I want like that. Who the hell are you, boy? Ooh, I gotta calm down, man, because let me go back. Did you hear this Negro? Ooh, let's listen to him again.
Do this right here.
Yeah, and
Don't be on the internet doing Kamala Harris like that.
Yeah,
I don't care what issue you got with black women. Your mama's a black woman.
Who the f*** think you talking to?
Ricky Smiley is losing his mind.
It's like that.
Yeah,
I don't care what issue.
See, Ricky Smiley has a one-on-one relationship with Kamala Harris. Slightly. We don't have that, Ricky. So I can understand why you kind of protective. I mean, brothers do that when they get a light-skinned, rounded light-skinned pretty woman anyway. That light-skinned boy, ain't nothing, there's something powerful to that light-skinned woman. We get defensive. Don't be doing her like that. Why? Who the hell is she is? She's a human being just like everybody else. And then you, with what she did to black people in California on the record, let me try to pull this up so you can understand some of the things. Because I don't even have to pull it. I'll pull it up. I'll do another show concerning that, the reality of the record, and and the talking points that the Democrats have given them to talk about Kamala's record and try to say that I got it wrong and it wasn't like that. They still not telling the true story. The bottom line is, back then, man, they was, and I'm going to prove this a little later, man, they was arresting brothers left and right for some of the smaller stuff. You can just be standing on the block, not doing nothing. And cops was, people in L.A., South Central, Compton, San Francisco, Oakland, and all that, they'll tell you, they oftentimes used to do what they call sweeps. Sweeps is when the police sweep the whole block and arrest everybody on the block and start patting them down for drugs. And if they found one or two people in the drug with some drugs on them, and you were in a certain amount of radius around that person, you got locked up with them for his charges. So if he got drug possession charges, guess what? You got drug possession charges. If he got charged for drug paraphernalia, you got judged for paraphernalia. Yeah, they will stack the charges on top of each other. If you got arrested for man, they will say, if you had the weed in your pocket, we're not even talking about crack cocaine, because sometimes it was crack too. Most of the time it was crack. But if you had a little weed on you, you plan on smoking that weed on your own time. If the cops did that sweep and find that weed in your pocket, you got charged for possession. You got charged for the paraphernalia. We got charged for using. You got attempt to use, and you got charged for distribution. Even though you didn't distribute it, somebody gave it to you and you got charged for participating in distribution. That's 4 charges stacked on top of each other. And if you got that charge, if somebody was within a certain frame around you, they got charged with those same charges, and they said that you was accomplishment, or you was associated with this person. And half the time you don't know. I mean, one time, me and my friend, this was in Virginia, in Petersburg, Virginia, me and my boy Chuck, we were standing outside, me and Chuck was just chopping it up. Police came, did a sweep, arrested us, and Chuck had some weed in his pocket. I didn't know Chuck had the weed in the pocket. I didn't smoke weed. And they arrested both of us and took us both downtown. Chuck kept saying, look, Rob ain't got nothing to do with it. They still tried to put those charges on me. I was just talking to him on the street. But California was notorious of trying to fill up the private prison systems so they can give people slave labor next to free labor. That's where we get the word the new Jim Crow from. Because California was notorious, and she was a prosecutor, a district attorney at that time, and attorney general. She was notorious for filling up those jail stays so filled they had to take the guys who had the minor crimes and put them in prison. That's why you have that low number of people that she actually put in prison, but they never talked about the people who were actually jailed and stayed in jail waiting on the trial. And during that time they were waiting, they had to work. And a lot of them did jobs that they shouldn't have been doing, like fighting forest fires. And that number was way up in the thousands. And that is in many jails. And there's a difference between the time of San Francisco, Oakland as DA, and then there's the time as Attorney General. They won't even name the amount of brothers that was going through that stuff as Attorney General. If you calculate all the county jails, all the city jails in California and how packed they were, those numbers counted under her watch, but they don't want you to see that. They don't want you to see that. They'll say the numbers that she had was only so and so. That's because they put the minor infractions, they took them to the state penitentiary waiting a trial, because the hardcore guys was in general population at the local jail. And believe me, the local jail was a zoo. Anyway, that's that. So let me finish this thing so we can be done.
You got with black women. Your mama's a black woman.
Yeah, my mama's black. She ain't black. How about that?
Let's start there.
My mom's black. She ain't got nothing to do with it. Kamala Harris' mama is Indian. My mama's black. Kamala Harris' mama is Indian. So what you got? She's Indian. Smart, intelligent, scientist, Kamala, strong, Indian woman, Brahmin. Her family, she come from a family of dignitarians in India, Brahmin class, which means they kind of look down on darker skinned Indian. And when the family knew that she was messing with a darker skinned, like Irish Indian man, they didn't like it. But she went with him anyway. She dated him anyway. She fell in love with him anyway. And she was a nice looking young lady back then, you know. I ain't gonna say all that. She was all right. You know, I've been drinking. She was all right. They split up, bitter divorce, bitter breakup. And like most mothers do, they pit you against your daddy. They say your daddy's no good. Your daddy ain't nothing but this. Your daddy ain't nothing for that. And you end up hating your daddy because you don't know no better, because you haven't been spending enough time with your daddy to know who he really is. And that was Kamala Harris' situation. So miss me with that. Your mama's black. Your sister black. Yeah, but she ain't black.
I don't care what and I'm talking to the men right here. Your mother is a black woman. Don't forget that.
And I'm talking to you. This man right here, Rick, is talking to you. Yes, my mother's black. Her mother ain't black. Don't forget that.
Don't forget that your sister is a black woman.
My sister is black. Love my sister, Chrissy Carnegie. Shout out. She's probably going to vote for Kamala Harris because she's a diehard Democrat. I'm not. I don't bother. That's her thing. I mean, I don't challenge her on that. And she probably try to challenge me on that, but it's going to go out the other ear. It ain't going to mean nothing to me. I'm still going to love her. And yes, she's black. But again, her mama, her sister ain't black. Her sister is still Indian because she still got an Indian mama, and her daddy is Scotch Irish Indian.
And as a black man, I stand proudly with Kamala Harris.
Of course, I can see you standing proudly with her in that picture. We don't have that access, and most of us don't want to have access like that toward her. And if we did have access like that toward her, we ain't gonna be simps about it like you are, having little fantasies and orgasms over installing somebody into office. I see you staying with her. But you saying that, you keep saying that, hoping that, oh, you staying with her, we gonna stand with her. Ricky staying with her, we gonna stand with her. I stand with her. Like you're a leader, man. You're not a leader, Ricky. You're not. Nobody's gonna follow you down the road. We ain't gonna follow you down a yellow brick road. We ain't gonna follow you down that black paved road. We're not following you. Your job is to entertain us, like Kendrick Lamar said. Your job is to keep us waving our hands. Told Kendrick, wait. No, your job is to make us laugh, and you do that very well. But we don't look at you as a leader. But yet they want to trot you out. That's why Malcolm X had that thing to say about these comedians and these artists. They're going to try to trot you out as a leader, and you're not. You're not a black leader. You're not. I'm not. You're not. You're an entertainer. I'm a blogger. I'm a YouTuber. I'm not leading nobody nowhere. I got my own personal thoughts, my own personal beliefs, my own personal vision. I don't put that over on nobody else. I'm me. This is how I do what I do. You. This is how you do what you. So great. You're with her. I'm not. And I have various reasons why. And I'm not with Trump. I don't care how many times you say that and try to use that to shame me. It don't. It never will, because I know numbers.
This morning, with tears in my eyes. It means so much to me. Do you know that lady picked up the phone and...
Did he say with tears in his eyes?
How about that? How about how personal her and Joe Biden has been? How about Joe Biden wrote me a letter naming my grandkids and naming my son's name in a personal handwritten letter? How kind, how thoughtful, how genuine.
I'm going to pause for a second. Ricky, I know how you feel. I lost my son. Love of my life. My heart. His birthday was the other day. It's hard. His birthday coming tough for me to this very day. It's good that you had the president and vice president. I didn't have that. They don't know who I am. I don't have access like you do, because they pulled you out. They see who you are. You're a staunch defender of the Democratic Party. You're part of the Democratic Church. You're part of the Democratic cult. And these leaders in that cult recognize you, and they reward you with access. Just saw you with the picture, picture with him. I wouldn't be caught dead with either one. I don't care. Not like that. I care. I care about all people, but I don't care about access. You know, back when I first started here and the channel started growing, I had different people wanting to be on my show. People running for city councilman. People wanted to run from office. I said no. That's not my style, because I don't want to seem like I got access to that. I wanted to keep it where if I need to big you up, I big you up. If I need to big you down, I'll big you down. I don't need to be thinking we're friends. I'm not doing this to make friends. I'm doing this to hold politicians accountable. That's all. It's good that you got access, that these people write a letter. They don't do that for every person that their child died. So again, Ricky, we're not you. We're not you. Some of us don't want to be you. Some of us will never be you. I don't want to have to put on the dress for entertainment or laugh. I don't want to sit here and kiss these politicians behind. I don't want to sit here and be trapped in the political party thinking it's my civil duty, my duty as a black person to support the Democratic Party. I'm not supporting the Democratic or the Republican Party. I don't support party. I support individuals. And I can see why you got an affinity for those two, because you got access to it. And I can see why you getting a little upset, crying and boo-hooing, and I'm with her. I'm with her. Why y'all not with her? Because we don't have that. Number one, we don't have that kind of access, and we know we're not going to get access like that. And the only thing we're asking for them to do for us, if you want us to be with you, you need to be with us on this black agenda and this reparation, not this left all program crap, not this benefit all people, all ties left all boats. No, we need something strictly for us. We need a hate crime bill. We need black agenda, you need to push our black agenda, and we need to put reparation with cash pay. That's what we care about. You care about the fact that they did something for you. We care about the fact that they ain't did nothing for us yet.
They're just genuine and sincere, and I love people like that.
They genuine and sincere to the point that he developed a crime bill, one of the most racist policies since slavery, and she mastered it in California. That's why they jailed together. They've harmed so many black families. They put so many black men in jail. His crime bill gave her the aid to do what she did in California. He gave her the template to go through, the permission to do what she's doing. She did it textbooks Joe Biden style. That's why Joe jailed with her, because nobody took his baby and perfected like he did. She is a kung fu master. She's a black belt and Joe Biden crime bill knowledge.
And anybody, the person that got killed at the Trump rally, who do you think called that man's wife to offer his condolences? Joe Biden did. Trump didn't call him.
Now you're lying. You just go on the line. This is a bald-faced lie, Ricky.
Tragically, the shooter claimed the life of one of our fellow Americans, Corey, comparator, unbelievable person, everybody tells me, and seriously wounded. 2 other great warriors, spoke to them today, David Dutch and James Copenhaver. I also spoke to all 3 families of these tremendous people. Our love and prayers are with them, and always will be. We're never going to forget them. They came for a great rally. They were serious Trumpsters, I want to tell you. They were serious Trumpsters and still are. But Corey, unfortunately, we have to use the past tense. He was incredible. He was a highly respected former fire chief, respected by everybody. Was accompanied by his wife, Helen, incredible woman. I spoke to her today, devastated, and 2 precious daughters. I want to thank the fire department and the family for sending his helmet, his outfit, and it was just something, and they're going to do something very special when they get it. But we did something which cannot match what happened, not even close. But I am very proud to say that over the past few days, we've raised $6.3 million for the families of David, James, and Corey, including from a friend of mine just called up. He sent me a check right here. I just got it. $1 million from Dan Newland. Thank you, Dan. And again, when speaking to the family, I told them, I said, well, I'm going to be sending you a lot of money, but it can't compensate. They all said the same thing. You're right, sir. We appreciate so much what you're doing, but nothing can take the place in the case of Corey. And the other 2, by the way, they were very, very seriously injured, but now they're doing very well. They're going to be okay.
Yes, it's good that Joe Biden called her. And it's good that Joe Biden called Trump. But Trump called her. Trump raised $3 million for that family. See, you guys tried to make somebody so evil that they can't do no good. And every person, no matter how evil they are, can do some good. That's why I'm not always on Joe Biden's behind, because evil as he is to create a crime bill like that, to actually decimate the black community with his policies, with Kamala Harris perfecting it in California and getting a high five for it, especially with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And he took a bullet at a Trump rally. These are kind, loving people.
So is Trump kind because he called the family? Is Trump kind because he decided to memorialize this guy at his events, bringing his uniform out so people can give this guy his props? Is Trump kind about raising $3 million? Because she raised $3 million and giving to me. I'm gonna think you the kindest way. I'm like, okay, hey, he might be a racist son of a gun, but he sure blessed me with $3 million. My pastor say the best way to deal with people who are anti you is give them a blessing. $3 million? That's what Trump raised. Imagine the money she got from insurance company.
You look at their policy, you'll know what's going on.
She ain't got no policy. She's just starting to unveil one policy, and that policy is dead on arrival. It can't be done. It's just honey to the ears, like I told you she was. And she's taking some of Trump policies and making it her own with the tax cut and with the no tax on tips.
We need to stop, black people.
No, you need to stop, black person.
Stop it. Stop attacking Kamala Harris. Stop it with the self-hatred.
It's not selfish. First of all, you don't tell nobody what to do. You're not the boss of us. Second, it's not an attack. Telling the truth is not an attack. Going over somebody's record is not an attack. Now, calling the Kamala, it's just jokes and giggles. Calling her Killer Cam because she supports genocide, Joe's agenda over there in Israel to continue bombing innocent people. Yeah, that's a good one. Killer Kamala. You know, y'all guys getting mad because somebody don't say her name right. That's how so cultish you guys are. Who cares? You just say the name right. Who cares what other people say about her name? Say her name right. Y'all did that with Jill Biden. Call her Dr. Jill. Man, if you don't get on my face, I call her whatever I want. I call her Jack and Jill. What you gonna do? Guys, you need to stop.
Even if you don't agree with everything she do, what do you think she can do as the vice president? She not in control of the Congress and the Senate.
Dude, she is the president of the Congress and the Senate. She is the final vote to every vote. That little tax thing that she did, know how I know she's not going to do it? Because they voted against it and she was the deciding vote against it. So yes, she is, dude. What planet are you on, Ricky Smiley? She is the president of the Senate.
You know how government works.
Obviously, you don't know how government works.
Come on. We got an opportunity here of a lifetime. We'll be dead and gone, but we can say
I'd rather be dead and gone before I lend my vote to give her my vote. I'll look at the policies. I might promote the policies, but it don't mean I'm voting. Likewise, on the Republican side, I'll look at the policies. I might support some of these policies.
Because we're not going to live ever that we voted a black man and a black woman to.
We? You mean you? Black people are not a monolith. Black people are different individuals with different beliefs and different ideology. And that play a factor in how we vote. You're voting for debauchery. You're voting for hedonism. You're voting for black genocide. You're voting for exposing our kids to sexuality. You're voting for an agenda that don't mind our kids going out to a parade where it's lewd and sexual and mischievous. You want to vote for that. I don't want to vote for that. You want to vote for, you want to be a part of a team and vote for people who would love to call the church white nationalists, not just all churches. They want to lump all churches in the racist category because we stick with our agenda and our faith. That's what you want to do.
Become president of the United States. That's history. This is what Dr. King died for. This is what Medgar Evers died for.
This is not what they died for. They didn't die for somebody to become the president. He died for black. The thing that caused Martin Luther King died was the thing that we're asking for. He said that they've been giving all this money. They've been giving all these land. They've been giving all these grants to these white immigrants, but they ain't been doing nothing for the native black people of this country. That's what he said. That's what he said. He said, I believe that me sending people toward the path of integration was like sending people into a burning bush, a burning fire. He said, no. It's too much money that they're giving out, and they have yet to give us our 40 acres and a mule, but it's time now to go get our check. That right there, the equality and finances, which she says she ain't gonna do, that's why Dr. King died. He ain't died for these two people to be president. Get out of here with that bull crap. Thank God we got black people running for office. Go for black people, but make sure that your post is with the community, not with the Beltway.
This is what Rosa Parks went to jail for. All of the sacrifices that black people had to make. Your grandmother's cleaning up white people's house and cleaning and scrubbing floors and doing all of this stuff. All these black people made all these sacrifices for us.
Are you fucking kidding me? You start fucking crying? You start crying?
This Negro crying. This Negro is crying.
Well, we can have this opportunity cleaning and scrubbing floors and doing all of this stuff. All these black people made all these sacrifices for us. Black man and a black woman. All of the sacrifices that black people had to make.
Look, I love my grandma mother, Bertha Bellamy. Love her, hard-working woman. I love my mom, hard-working woman. This ain't got nothing to do with her. Look, don't get me wrong. My mom, she wants, I don't say much about my mom, about Kamala Harris. I'm not, because my mom probably rooting for her. And if I start going over her horrible record, then, I don't want to upset my mom, so I'm just not going to talk to her. She's one vote. Now, I'm not going to try to, if she want to go vote for Kamala Harris, no, I'm not. I know her record. I know her abysmal record. I know how she climbed up the ladder to get in power, to start the power structure to start. I know what she did to get there. I know what she did while she was there. I know what she did overly from prosecutor to attorney general to district attorney. And I know what she said that she's not going to do. Now she's vice president and going into the presidency. And the things that she posed, I know she's stealing Donald Trump ideas. I know this proposal for the housing thing is a nothing burger. It's impossible to happen. The market is just too flimsy. And it's just easy for them to raise up the rate $25,000 more if you got $25,000 loan, which will hurt you because it's stuck in the payment. It's just a whole lot to it. I know this stuff. I'm not crying over these politicians. Now, if these politicians get us fulfill our demands, I might get the balling. I might get the boo-hooing. Oh, we got a hate crime bill. I might do the Ricky Smiley.
Your grandmother's cleaning up white people's house and cleaning and scrubbing floors and doing all of this stuff. All these black people made all these sacrifices for us where we can have this opportunity, and then you get a woman, now you want to question her race and question her ability and all this stuff.
Yes, we question her race because she's trying to run as a black woman, and she's not black. Her mother's Indian. Her daddy is Indian and Scotch-Irish, Jamaican, immigrant, born from immigrants. Get out of here with this stuff, man. You want to vote for her? Fine, you got every right to. All you guys out there, you want to vote for her? Fine, you got a right. But I want you to vote for her because of her great record of helping black people in the black community, because of her past record, what she's been doing now for black people, and what she planning on doing for the black people, which is a whole lot of nothing. I'm not going to tell you that if you don't vote for her, I'm not going to tell you to vote for Donald Trump, because he got his own issues. He's a work himself. I'm not telling you to go sit on the couch. My job is to let you know what you're voting for. You can go for it after that. If you don't want to vote for her, that's your prerogative. If you want to vote for Donald Trump, still your prerogative. If you don't want to vote at all and vote for the couch, still your prerogative. If you're actually going to vote but just not going to vote for the two top of the ticket, but you're going to go down ballot, dealing with the judges, ballot initiative like that's good. Those are all options. This is the beauty of America, that you have a right to vote. I mean, it's not difficult to vote. It's based on where you live, and having that driver's license or that state ID, that is what we call a voter ID. Any ID given to you from the state. And if it matches up with the address, you'll be able to vote in there, no problem. Now, my problem is the machines. Can't trust them. I've plenty of time. I had to slide my card in 2-3 times before it finally cleared. And I don't know if it cleared. It could have cleared 3 times for my opponent and 1 time for the person who I'm voting for. I don't know that. That's why I support another Trump policy of paper ballot. I support that. Don't mean I'm voting for that dude. This nigga over here crying.
Why? Why are we doing this? Why are we like this? What is wrong? And I'm sitting here, I should be voting for Trump with the tax bracket that I'm in, but if I have to pay more taxes.
Everybody say that, man. I hear people say that all the time. I make enough money where I could vote for Trump. Either way, you're going to be good. Whether you vote for Trump or not, you're going to be good. You're going to be good. You got money. You're going to be good. But I'm going to vote against Trump for you and vote blue. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to tell you this. None of this stuff don't scare me. None of this. Kamala Harris in charge, Trump in charge. At the end of the day, if y'all step over the line, this is God's earth. This is God's country. And if you step over the line and start treating God people, habitually treating God people wrong on purpose, and when I say God people, I'm not just talking about believers. I'm talking about black people, the original inhabitants of this earth, the first man. You start doing them wrong, God's going to deal with you personally. Trump only going to go so far. Kamala Harris is only going to go so far. Don't habitually ignore and attack my people. Now, to this very point right now, Kamala Harris and her policies have attacked my people in California, have done them wrong. I'm not going to give her a bigger platform to do that. Trump have attacked the Central Park 5 board, but that's not a representation of the whole black community. He need to apologize for that, and that narcissist fool ain't going to do that. But he has not done anything to harm black people in general, because it's more than that. I'm looking at your policies, and the majority of your policies do not line up with my beliefs. I ain't got nothing to do with it. You can have it. I'm going to believe God and trust God, and he's going to tell me which way to vote. You can't tell me what he's telling me to do. Only he can tell me what he's telling me to do. When people say that stuff, I mean, thank you, appreciate it, but that's great. No big deal to me. Appreciate it, though.
In order to do what's right, just where somebody else can have food in their mouth and do the right thing or whatever.
Trump was in office, we ate. We was in the whole pandemic, we ate. I'm just going to tell you some truth, and you're going to think it's Trump talk, but it's truth, and you know it. When he was in office, we ate. When he was in office, we ate. We had a little money to invest thanks to stimulus packages and stuff like that, but I never had a problem. I had no issues. I mean, I got to be truthful. With no inflation. Don't mean I'm supporting the dude, but it's just a fact. So what Ricky Smiley talking about? You trying to say that if Trump get in office, we're not going to eat? Whether Trump is in office or Kamala Harris in office, the beat is going to go on when it comes to food, clothing, and shelter. Now, prices might go up high depending on how you deal with the inflation and how you try to do whatever you need to do to make certain moves to get the economy back on order. If you get black people their reparation, we'll stimulate the economy and get you rocking and rolling. We'll build business with our money. Get you rocking and rolling. We'll hire some people. Get you rocking and rolling. But no, I don't want to do that now. But if we have policies that's going to bring jobs back, manufacturing jobs, and get people back working in the factories and stuff like that, making tires, making parts, building, boxing up cereal. I mean, sky's the limit. We need more manufactured jobs and we'll have more money. Y'all act like that the Democrats is the only way to go to feed, clothe, and shelter America. It don't matter what party is in control. Feed, clothing, and sheltering America is the agenda. And both can do that. They stop playing this partisan politics.
I want to be on the right side of history. And I mean this. I'm not...
Who said that is right side of history? Okay, let's say this. I'm not going to fight you guys off when they're doing it. A lot of people saying if we're on Trump's side, we're on the right side of history, he's going to save America because he's saving them from heathenism that the Democratic Party promote. And they do promote heathen. And hey, every now and then, the heathen in me creeps up. And I have to keep them at bay. But they're promoting it. And they want you to be free in it. They don't want you to fight it or, they want you to be natural. And if you feel like you need to let that heathenism out, let it out. And if anybody say something to you, come to us and we're going to legislate laws that's going to fine him, help him lose his job and stuff like that. Then you got the people over here, we're going to do this. At the end of the day, my trust is in God. It's not in a political party at all. So I don't want to be on the right side of history. I want to be on God's side because God is always making history. You can have your right side of history. You can have your left side. I want God's side.
I've just been holding my peace. I ain't been saying nothing. But man, some of these videos are disturbing in these mean.
It hurts. That Judge Joe Brown interview hurts. That brother who got locked up by Kamala Harris, it hurts. People who worked under Kamala Harris, it hurt. People who worked in the vice president campaign, a bunch of them left for whatever reason. They talking out now. It hurts. It hurts because you don't want to see the shortcoming of your queen. It's just like Hillary Clinton and her anger issues and stuff like that. When that stuff started coming out, people got offended. Why are you getting offended over their shortcoming? We all have them. I just don't. Putting out these videos, they're going to come out. Deal with it. People going to put videos out. And it's going to make her look like something that you don't want to see her as. You're so used to her being the kind person that came to console you and hug you and make you feel good when you lost your son. And then I get that. But in the end of the day, I want to be on the right side of his story, not history.
Are disturbing what we as a people doing to each other. We need to stop.
We ain't doing that to each other. We doing it to her. And I've yet begun to start because every time I see something that don't sound right, because I gotta do it. I gotta do it. And I do it on this end because this is the end that my people are so beholden to the Democratic Party that they got to start either taking over or they got to, and I'm not talking about just through the voting process. They got to take over because, We got certain people in there that feel like they can tell you to step down or pull money funding away from you and everything. They're pretty much running this thing like a dictatorship in the Democratic Party. They dictated that Joe Biden got to go. I don't care. That performance was horrible, and we're going to move everything we can to get him out the way if we have him drive him for funding. Drive his funding, and they did. And you want somebody to be a part of that? Because she can't change it, because they'll do her the same way. Joe Biden is the president right now. You don't think if she win, that they going to control her and tell her she's not going to run the next election? You don't think they can stop her from running right now? They could change the delegate counts and the delegate can go somewhere else. The convention haven't happened yet.
We need to stop. And I'm done.
I'm glad you're done. You need to stop. Who is we? You speaking French, bruh? We are not all the same. So stop trying to make us all the same. We're the same color. We're all FBAs. I think you're FBA. We're all foundational to this country. But you don't understand the plight that the grassroots, you don't see what we see from the grassroots because you're in your Hollywood bubble. You're in your TV radio show. And people probably called you and tell you about it and you never really looked at it. And you choose to put her over that. And that's the problem. You're off code. You got to get on code. And if you're not on code, we're going to push back on you. And if she's not on code, well, she's going to always be off code because she's not part of the code. We're going to push back on her. If you're off code, you're going to get the pushback. You putting her over this agenda you need to be taking this agenda to her and say, hey, people ain't feeling you. You need to get on this if you want to win. Instead of you telling us forget what we're doing and get with her. Are you crazy, man? You must be out your mind.
We're going to have her on the show. We're going to support her on this show.
Y'all
We're
are.
going to support her. And I cannot wait if God let me live to see a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated swear in a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. Man, as being in the Greek family myself. Man, listen. Come on, y'all. Come on.
You preaching
Kamala
this morning,
Harris.
Ricky.
This Negro ain't preached jack. He's talking about Greek sorority, a religion. That's a religion itself with members. And in some cases, it can get a cult-like. It's kind of cult-like. Just like the Eastern Stars, just like the Masonry. It has cult elements. I'm done. Ricky Smiley has had enough. Snapping on black men and snapping on black people because they're not with her. They're not obligated to be with her, Ricky. We're not obligated to be with her. She is obligated to be with us. She ain't going to come over here and get a soft coup into the Democratic nomination. Joe stepped down. Doesn't automatically get her that position. We assume she gets the position, but no, she has to be nominated for it. And now it's so far gone that the people can't have a voice on whether she should be the one or not. We have no choice but to take it because the Democratic Party gonna make her that. The DNC, the Democratic National Committee, is gonna make sure that she is the nominee. Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, and crew is gonna rally all the delegates to push her to be the president. But we on this end, we didn't vote for her. I didn't vote for her. And don't think I'm going to vote for her now. If they want her to be in office, they can do the same thing they did just now. They can do it in the general election. She's not for us, but you want us to be for her. She said
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No.
but you want black people to do everything for her, but we say no. At least me. Now, mind you, a lot of people gonna support her for simple fact that she's a Democrat. That's it. And her abysmal record of legislating so horrible that they're going to try to hide and cover that. They're going to try to wash and change. They're going to change Wikipedia. They're going to change all that to make you think that she's the strong, tough, prosecuting president to be. We get it, Ricky. You want black people to support her. That's your job. You are a campaign comedian. In other words, this is your way of knocking on doors. There's nothing you said that was funny in this bit. In the black community, you're a comedian. You crying and trying to shame us, that don't work. It didn't work at all on me, and I'm quite sure it's not going to work on a lot of other people. You and this cockamamie bullcrap that if you don't support with her, you support Trump. No, that's a lie. I don't like Trump. I don't like her. I do tell the truth. There's a lot of things in Trump plans I can get with. I've yet to see her plan, the plan that she came up with just now. with the tips and all that, she stole that from Trump. Stole it. The tax issue, she stole it from Trump and Vance. Stole it. I'm waiting for the rest of the policies to come out. And my faith does play a factor in my decision of voting. And if you're preaching heathenism and you want to bring that mess to our kids, like No Addition, you can count me out supporting. I already wasn't supporting you, but you just keep adding on reason for me not to support. You're free to choose who you want to choose to be president. You shouldn't be ashamed, beat down. You shouldn't let people have conundrums and fits like this guy just did because you're not with his candidate. You're going to talk about what the candidate did for him. They ain't do that for me. I wasn't looking for it, but they ain't doing it for me. That's your girl. That's your dude. You got access to him. I don't want access. You can keep your access. I want to be able to look them in the eye and tell them, and they ain't it. Or tell them, hey, that was good. Great stuff. Keep up the good work, but that ain't it. That ain't it. Nope, that ain't it. Negro, please. No, we ain't doing it. I'm not doing that. That's the accountability I want to have. I'm not lending my support to nobody as of this time. And again, long as if your platform and campaign is not in line with my religious belief, I can't vote for you because that's how.
So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No. 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 No.